Yo, what's up, everyone? You know what it is. This is your boy A-Jade from Emery, and we are Elite. I'm here with my boy Aaron,
Yes.
my boy Stephen, my boy Grant,
What's up?
my boy Mac,
It's mock.
Mark. Yes. And today we're just gonna be having a discussion on good old-fashioned wrestling and our ideas to what would make today's product better. Okay, we start off talking with something we talked about before the broadcast start. What's next for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose after their feud is done?
Oh boy.
I say we have Seth Rollins become Intercontinental Champion.
And I say he's already Mr. Money in the Bank. They got something already going for him. The best thing they can do right now is either A, give it to Dean Ambrose, or B, have them feud until there's a face champion.
Okay, Aaron.
Well, I say it's hard to be a champion or a Money in the Bank holder when you're trying to make a crazy man follow the buzzards. I think he's going to get wrapped up with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, before we go to Graham, what did you mean by crazy person? Did you mean a feud with Bray Wyatt? I thought you meant giving Bray Wyatt a championship push.
Oh, no, I mean Bray Wyatt tries to go at it with Dean Ambrose, and they just have their own sort of feud.
Okay, I like it, Stellar. Grant,
Yep.
what you think is next after Ambrose and Rollins are done feuding with each other? What's next for those two?
Um, Rollins, it will probably be in a feud with the next top face, whoever is healthy at the time. Um, and Ambrose, they can probably go a couple different ways with. You might see a Ambrose Randy Orton feud, or uh, even Ambrose and Triple H. That they teased that a couple times. So it just depends on the timing of when this feud actually ends.
Let me throw this out there for you guys, because right now, you guys, I'm just going to ask you guys this and tell me if you agree. This is the best feud, like former friend feud in a while we had in WWE.
Yeah, easily the
Yeah,
best one
agreed.
in the last 10 years, easy.
By far, I compare it to like Shawn Michaels and Triple H back from 2002 to 2004,
Yeah,
because they have that tag. They used to be teammates. They had that brotherhood, and I think this feud right now is the best going on TV right now. Why, for it's the main reason why we're going to Raw and SmackDown.
yeah,
Would you guys agree?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's the only feud right now outside of Brock and John Cena that deserves to be in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I think they've been continuing what they've done. It's very rare that you see them protect and completely dedicate time to anything, and pretty much since the Shield, they've been doing that, and they're continuing to do it now.
And for the folks who are on the internet more and on the forums complaining about WWE are not pushing new talent, well, I tell them look at Roman, look at Seth, and look at Dean. They were last summer. They were main event in Raw and for pay-per-view.
Yeah, they rise to the top came kind of fast.
Yeah, but that's what we needed. We needed more dynamic in our main event team, and the Shield were it.
Yeah. The only issue we see that now and what do now because, like I said, you have no Bryan, no Roman Reigns, and no CM Punk for the foreseeable future. So it's like where do you go from here? Because you can't have all Ambrose, all John Cena, and no other faces at the top.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting on y'all to respond.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Grant here. You really need more faces because we're having a face shortage due to all the injuries going on.
Right.
There might be something in the works like I saw with on SmackDown with Cesaro, but other than that, I say push the faces that are in the low card right now up right now because this is the good time to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I know how much flack I get for saying push Ryder, but this is like the perfect time to do it. You need
No, I'm
faces
with
right
you on
now.
the Push Rider.
Ryder hasn't had any meaningful TV time though for them to just start pushing him out of nowhere. They will have to build his character. Like right now, they could push somebody that's already out there. Like they could push Dolph, or even push Cesaro, but it has to be somebody that's actually we've seen. We haven't seen Zach besides random spots and battle royals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
We need him to like have a
it's like with the NBA,
that's a word.
how the teams have role players, bench players, backup, reserve,
Yeah,
or reserve wrestlers on roster. So when something does happen like this, where we have like what 4 top stars out,
yeah.
You know
so
what?
I think
reserve.
we had him, but something called budget cuts happened.
You know what? This discussion reminds me of something. If you go back probably about 8 years ago, when WWE had OVW as its developmental center, I remember, they were making a big deal about their world heavyweight champion. I believe it was Mike Cool at the time, facing a WWE superstar. And back then, even jobbers on the roster felt like big deals.
Right.
Like Carlito could go on like a 6-month losing streak and still seem like a major star.
Right.
Let me throw one name.
And that's they need to get back to that. They need to make it to a point where everyone feels important, even if they're not the biggest star on the roster anymore.
But that goes to like one of the points that I had made before we had came on air. You got to think when WWE had its highest success, it was because everybody felt important. Everybody had a storyline, all the way from Stone Cold Steve Austin down to Crash Holly. The top to bottom, everybody has something going on, instead of just random spots on TV and it doesn't make any sense, or you don't have anything important for this person to do.
Yeah, the inconsistency is a problem, especially with the writers now.
Yeah, let's put it in perspective here. We know Adam Rose versus the Slater Gator. Who cares?
Right.
Honestly, who cares? And you know why we don't care? We have no backstory to go on. We have no relevancy. We have nothing.
Because it was just thrown in there.
He seems to not like him because he's different. That's it.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people on their roster, more so now than ever, they have a lot of people who are just talented in the ring, but the fans have no idea what they're capable of because they've been given no example of what anyone can do. I still have no idea what Adam Rose is capable of as Adam Rose because I've never seen him wrestle a full match, and I shouldn't have to subscribe to a half-assed network to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
$9.99.
$9.99 for bullshit.
The only relevant program there is NXT.
Yes, they have proper
You
talent.
have to pay extra cash to watch that. You're just. I was watching someone do a wrestling talk. You don't mind if I plug someone on here, do you?
You shouldn't, but I'll let you because you're one of the founding fathers.
Okay, I usually watch this guy on YouTube, the Spoonie Experiment. He sometimes does wrestling talks, and he brought up a lot of good points about Night of Champions and the following Raw.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, during Night of Champions, we were pretty much called idiots.
Yeah, let's go back to Raw for a second, how it started off. He had the return of Dean Ambrose. He hits the ring. Everybody goes crazy. He gets returned with a tremendous pop.
Uh,
And he's on
uh,
the microphone demanding Seth Rollins with more words for more words.
but finish your point as far as what you were saying about Night of Champions.
All right. My point is basically they are so trying to push the network so bad that they literally called us idiots for like the people who did not have the network who paid like $50 for the pay-per-view. They were pretty much called idiots. Like, hey, you paid for this pay-per-view when you could have just
Yeah,
paid $9.99. It's like, okay, screw you, dude. That was just an
yeah.
insult at that point. I mean, granted, the pay-per-view, I know some people like it. I thought it was just okay, to be honest.
I think it was good.
I think
Good for wrestling, but nothing else.
What about the
Yeah, I was
match?
gonna say it was more of a middle of the pack pay per view to me. It was a
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Let's talk about the card, the lineup of the pay-per-view. If you guys remember, it was the first match was I'm trying to think. Was it Miz and Ziggler?
Yes, where Miz pulled the tights.
And Florida Line came out and beat up Miz down.
That was
that was
pointless.
the yeah, but that was the like thing. Well, no, that wasn't the first match. That didn't happen till later. The
We're
first
we're
match.
just naming matches right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to give a little review of Night Champions, just a little bit.
Like we're just doing a recap of that. We're not even.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Because
not.
we talked about Night Champions after the show last week, and now that's sunk in. We're going to talk about it a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the whole tights holding thing. You know what? I get it. The heels do that, but here's what bugs me: the Monday after the rematch was immediate. Dolph did the exact same thing, and you know what? You know what? Fine. The heel got a taste of his own medicine. Then on SmackDown, he screwed over Cesaro though, which kind of raised an eyebrow. Like that's not a face thing to do.
And for those who don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna get into the Cesaro Ziggler feud a little later on.
Right. I'm just kind of putting this out there. Like, if they were going to do this with Dolph in the first place, why have him lose at Night of Champions?
Yeah, it didn't really make sense to me either.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just going to have a number one contender thing later, why do that? Why have him lose at all? There was literally no point to Miz having his one-day title reign.
Yeah.
And
It's that kind of stuff that bugs me.
we have Mark Henry and Rusev. Boy, I thought this would be better than expected.
The whole
Mark is such a
feud
big
has
man
been
worker.
kind of lackluster to me.
I think the problem with this is another thing that other guy brought up, which was a good point. Rusev does better with smaller, faster guys. He can move at a quick pace. When you put him against someone big and slow, it slows down the pace of the match so much it kind of becomes boring.
But Mark is such a good big man worker.
He's a great worker, don't get me wrong. But one, he's kind of getting on in years, and you can tell he's not as athletic as he used to be. Two, he's a big guy. He cannot move fast like some of the younger guys that Rusev has been against. And when Rusev's against the bigger guys, he can move fast. So it's best to put him with people who can move fast with him.
Yeah.
That's the best way to capitalize on the 300-pounder that is Rusev.
Rusev is a good athlete.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if they're gonna continue to put him up against big people like Big Show or even a Khali, I think those matches can have a certain spectacle to them, but they need to be kept relatively short.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't want to see Rusev get overexposed.
It's not even that. It's like just the spectacle of seeing someone like Rusev take down someone like the Great Khali. Khali may not be the best wrestler, but he's still a big man. Seeing someone kind of like, go toe-to-toe with him and, literally kick him off his feet is a spectacle, but watching them struggle around for another 15 minutes is going to take the spectacle away from that.
Yeah, like we've had Cesaro versus Kali, and those matches were short because it showed Cesaro could be a very dominant force, even against a big guy. He could put him away quickly.
Yeah, I remember when he lifted. Yeah, speaking of, oh yeah, that was the first match off the pay-per-view. But speaking of Cesaro, I remember when he lifted Brodus Clay for the neutralizer.
Brodus Clay was a big guy that could also move fast.
One,
Like here.
one thing I have noticed about Rusev though, I feel like they're building him as the next like monster heel, and is looking like he's on a road to end up him versus Cena, and it's probably will end up being around WrestleMania season. So
Well,
You know, I think that would actually breathe life into Cena's, oh, he can't wrestle thing. Because him going against someone like Rusev who can move fast and is a big guy, I think that would give Cena more credibility finally.
well, how many? Cena has had a lot of credible wrestling matches, but that's
Yeah,
beside the point.
yeah, but he's never going against someone who is that much more quicker than him. I mean, the closest I could think of would be someone like Edge.
Or Edge.
Edge or Orton are like two of the fastest guys he's ever gone against. He's never gone against someone fast and big.
True.
That would be a whole nother level for him.
We actually have to give credit for Rusev for something, because how many times have they thrown out, oh, he's over 300 pounds, but he's so fast, and he's so agile, and they've slapped this label onto so many big guy wrestlers who didn't fit the bill. Right. Rusev actually fits the bill because he'll hit you with a power move, and then he'll jump up into the air and kick you in your face.
Yeah, he'll super kick your head off.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there are some big guys that are very athletic. Like, let's take Rikishi, for example.
Bam,
Who would
bam.
not expect a guy, a 400-pounder like that, to do a super kick to you? Like, it's like, ow, did I just get hit with that?
And the late great Umaga.
Oh, yeah. Great guy who could get on that top rope and splash you like Superfly.
Yeah, we can talk about Bam Bam, Vader.
Yeah.
Hell, even
definitely
the late,
Vader. Vader don't
even
get
the late
credit he
Yokozuna.
deserves.
Yoko, yes.
The 600-pounder that could, another guy who could super kick you.
I'll give him credit just for being able to sit on someone and not literally kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that takes a lot of concentration to stand like that.
Balance.
That and a lot of training, because I can tell you from experience, that's not easy to do for a long, extended period.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I finally remember the first match of the pay-per-view. It was Sheamus versus Cesaro, and man, what a way to kick off.
That was a good match.
Match of the night, easily.
Yes,
Easily.
You just had these two guys who have been in this intense feud. They're just going at each other, working stiff, the real strong style wrestling. And like Cesaro was pulling out everything. And to his credit, Cesaro actually looked strong here.
It's a great match. Like, it's like main event worthy.
Yes.
Because that reminds me of like a Japanese strong style match where it just takes basic moves to finish a guy rather than something flashy.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, what did you think about the match?
It actually reminded me kind of a Ring of Honor match where,
Yeah, that's exactly
they're just
what
hard hitting.
Yeah.
Hard hitting, back breaking, and then, the finish. A lot of people hated the finish, like the bro kick out of nowhere. I didn't like how little effort it took on Sheamus' part, but I did like the ending of that match, just because it literally did come out of nowhere. And I feel like if you have a striking finisher, that's how a match should end. It shouldn't end with you standing there, showing the world that you're getting ready to hit someone. It should show you just physically coming out of nowhere and knocking them out with that striking move.
Like, the only move that can get away with that would be like a spear. So, yeah, I love that point. Like, it's a striking move, but yeah, you can show, like, I'm ready to do this. That's like the only move I can think of that you can get away with doing that.
Like with Big Show, I hate how he does like the knockout punch, because it's like you're a 7-foot man with this giant fist. If you're standing there with your fist cocked to hit me from halfway across the ring, when I turn around, I'm going to see it coming.
I'm gonna duck and cover.
Wait.
I'm gonna duck and run. Fuck that.
Guys, or not. Grant, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Your thoughts on the match?
Cesaro, Sheamus, yeah, that's what I said. It was easily the match of the night. He took the words out of my mouth. It definitely remind me of a Ring of Honor style or even a New Japan uh match because it's just hard hitting strikes, simple moves, not too flashy or over the top. Um, I was thoroughly entertained by it, but I think Sheamus works better with wrestlers that have that time from you working in the UK. Because if you look back at his matches with Bad News Barrett, all those matches are great. So it just certain wrestlers work for Sheamus, and those
Hey,
two just
man,
mesh well.
they jail. So next matchup we had the Usos versus Stardust and Goldust, and finally Stardust and Goldust, the Dust Brothers finally got the Cosmic Key. Aaron, your thoughts?
Well, from what I saw, the match was pretty good. The only thing is, I really hope this Cosmic Key actually ends up being more than just them getting the titles. Like, I mean, obviously they can only do so much. It's not like they can plan world domination, but because their gimmick is so bizarre, I would love to see them do something more now that they have the Cosmic Key. And I'd also like to see them get new tag titles, but that's a different issue.
Okay, Mac, March, you're gonna kill me before this podcast is over. Your thoughts?
First of all, mock.
Mock.
I'm just gonna not respond every time you keep trying that now. But I like that the Dust Brothers, yeah, they won the titles, but it's come to a point where now what? There's like nothing you can really do with them now. Unless we get like a legitimate threat to their tag titles, the Usos seem like they're not a threat to them anymore. Now that they've beaten them.
The problem I see with the Usos run is like since they disbanded all these tag teams, there was not really that many opponents for the Usos. Like we had the Whites, and I think they should have brought the belts then, but they plans for them. Bad ones, I might add.
And I don't think Slater Gator is going to be a threat anytime soon.
If it was ruthless aggression, they would have won.
Yeah. But yeah, do you think the problem? We don't have any legitimate tag teams that pose a threat to these guys.
Well, we had Mark and the Big Show, but
Yeah, then Rusev happened.
yeah, so they're about to share this one feud.
Please, it's not about Rusev. It's about Lana's ass. Mark just wants an excuse to be near her.
Yes. It's gonna be like, I was about to say, Joe.
As far as the Usos versus Gold and Stardust, like the match was great, but I think like the WWE definitely have to do something about their tag division because at one point, you know, in the last year or so, they actually had a decent amount of tag teams where you could be like, okay, you know, so we could get a few good tag feuds in here, but then like, okay, the Usos are over. They don't need the belts to be over, so that's fine. But now you have Golden Stardust, who you're trying to portray as heels, but the crowd really doesn't not want to like them. So it's like,
remember on Raw before this pay-per-view? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Grant.
no, go ahead.
Remember before this pay-per-view, when they were building up to this match, they had one of the Usos, I think it was Jay, fake an injury.
Yeah.
And creative, covered their ass like the next Raw and try to make Stardust and Goldust the heels. Like
Well,
they
I think that same. Sorry about that. But I think that same Raw where the injury part happened is what was the Raw they tried the whole heel turn thing where they just attacked them because he wasn't able to make the 10 count and whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah,
like
I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. But it did look like a fake injury, and
yeah,
the way I saw it, it was like Goldust and Stardust was like, "Hey, man, don't be pulling that crap with us. We only get one shot at this, and we're not gonna let you jeopardize that."
yeah.
And
This whole
so,
storyline just doesn't make any sense, from the perspective other than, oh look, we're bad guys
Because
now.
I
That's
think
the
that Singh
only
apologized to the
reason.
SmackDown after that.
This whole storyline.
And the worst part
the
is,
way I see
it
it,
would
they
be a
just
lot
forced
easier
the
for them to
Dust Brothers
improve
to
it.
be healed because they could.
But yeah, but that's the whole issue. Okay, we probably get maybe another month or so out of this whole Uso uh Golden Stardust feud. But after that, then where do you go? Because the quality tag teams, as far as the feuds have, I mean the amount that we have of quality tag teams right now is like 0 to none.
How about we
I'm just,
bring? How about we bring up the Ascension and
Right?
belts on the Whites?
That's probably one way to salvage this.
That
honestly, I actually put together that would work. Like Tyson Kidd and Curtis Axel, they both have family pedigrees. I could easily see a tag team with them.
Well, when they had Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel together, that wasn't that bad actually. They just
Yeah, they just kind of quit on that.
no. I think what happened was Justin Gabriel was no, it was Tyson Kidd had got hurt, and then it
Yeah.
was just like it was over.
Okay, guys, the next match we're gonna talk about was the big mid-card event. It was Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
And you know what? It was a hard-fought match. It was tooth and nail. But Seth Rollins pulled it out like the champion he is and beat Roman Reigns by forfeit. By forfeit.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, your thoughts? Wait. Before we even thought, I forgot to add the layer part. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, Seth Rollins beat Roman Reigns by forfeit, but then things got a little, I would say, crazy. We have the return of the lunatic prince, Dean Ambrose, still up in the cab, I might add. And you know what? He was such a jerk, he didn't even pay the cab driver.
Well, he told me it was $9.99. And you know what I told him?
What?
Nope.
Ambrose, after that, Ambrose proceeded to brawl with Rollins. And the coolest moment of the night was when Ambrose dived onto Rollins in security with a crossbody. The authority comes out. Triple H has Dean Ambrose hogtied and carried away. So, guys, Aaron, let's start with you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm completely disgusted with Dean Ambrose's actions. First of all, how dare he attack Seth Rollins after a hard-fought forfeit victory over Roman Reigns?
I know.
Then, he refuses to pay a cab driver when the ride is only $9.99. If it were me, I would have gotten in that cab. I would have put my phone down. I would have gotten in that cab and told him to run over that phone because other than that pay-per-view, the network is complete bullshit and it's absolutely worthless.
Someone's got
But in
an
all
anger
seriousness,
issue.
they cheated me out of $12.99. But anyway, in all seriousness, it was a very nice brawl. Seth Rollins just very good in rubbing in the fact that he won against Roman Reigns in forfeit. And of course, Dean Ambrose tossing his body into the wind for that sweet stage dive onto the security. And of course, him being tied up with the freaking zip ties was hilarious to me. So yeah, all in all, good segment.
Okay, Grant.
Sorry. I'd like to talk about the follow-up of that.
No, Grant.
Oh, I mean, it was definitely a moment that was needed because, like I said before, when you have all these faces that are out injured or in CM Punk's case quit, you needed something, and it was just the timing was it happened to work out that you was able to bring Dean Ambrose back. It was the stage dive under the security was great. Uh, you knew the crowd was into it because as soon as they seen the taxi pull up, and it was instant pop.
Yes. Mark,
Yes.
your thoughts on the whole match?
I'd like to talk about the follow-up to Night Champions with this now. So we have Dean Ambrose out in the beginning of the show saying he's back and he wants a piece of Seth Rollins, but then we got John Cena saying "Get behind me because I want a piece." Doesn't that seem a little out of character for John Cena a little bit?
Yes, it kind of reminds me of 2007, 2002, 2007 version.
Well,
That's fine.
see, I don't think so because where they were going with Cena over the last month or so was to build him up as that type of character right now because they needed he needed to be that type of character to beat Brock and make it look like he actually had a chance to beat Brock.
Agreed. Aaron?
I'd actually like to add on to that point. When you think about the history that Dean Ambrose and John Cena have, which is mostly a few very physical altercations, and then you add to the fact that Dean Ambrose kind of threatened John Cena as soon as he got into the ring. John Cena's approach to that was, if anyone threatens you at any point, your response to them is probably not going to be too kind afterward. So I think in the context of the conversation, it's not like there was a character change. It was more so, you threatened me, so now I'm pissed and I'm just going to get to the point with you.
Yeah, it was kind of realistic, like something that would happen.
That's not the part I'm debating, though. The part I'm debating is the fact that Cena pretty much told Dean Ambrose, "Get behind me in line. I call dibs." That's like, that seems a little out of place. I mean, yes, he wants to fight him, but I don't think Cena would ever do something like "Get behind me in line." That's the part that bugs me.
Now, '07 version Cena? Definitely. Until you get in line. Current Boy Scout? No.
I mean, yes, I would expect Cena to be PO'd about, how Dean Ambrose approached him, but Dean Ambrose is Dean Ambrose. And I would expect him to be like, you know what, I'm pissed off, you're pissed off, let's go get them together. But instead, Cena pretty much says, I'm gonna take my turn first, then you can do it. Get in line. That's the part that seems out of character.
They should kind of continue with that. Honestly, I wouldn't expect John Cena to come off the hinges with Dean Ambrose too many more times, but I would like to see them kind of work together kind of not in a friendly way, but kind of like, look, we both want him to get his ass kicked. Let's just help one of us get our hands on him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd expect Cena to do that.
Okay, to run that, what happened next is the Authority came out with Seth Rollins way in the back.
Yes, how very manly of him.
I believe Orton and Kane was there. And we just saw Cena was like, Triple H first. Triple H said, "You guys aren't getting your hands on anybody." Then Cena replied by, "Fine, I'm just gonna come up there and take him." He drops the mic, makes a dash for Rollins, with Ambrose in pursuit. But then Kane, Orton, what's the word I'm looking for? They
Intercepted him?
Intercepted. Yes. And guys, what was your thoughts on that? A little brawl. What was the thought process behind that? Why wasn't Triple H looking at Rollins like, "Hey, why did you attack Brock last night?"
I think I brought this up before, and it's like, yeah, that is a good point. Why didn't Triple H bring that up?
It
It's
was a
Honestly,
good
I
match.
guess with Brock there, they're probably going to wait. Hopefully, they'll wait till next week and address it because they didn't have Paul out there tonight.
Yeah, because it really just made like Triple H look out of character because remember he's a heel and he brought in Brock Lesnar to become the champion, and you see your future golden boy just stomp the hell out of your champion. Grant, your thoughts?
Um, like I feel like they'll address it once Paul Heyman comes back to TV. Um, because last week was more so just because I'm pretty sure it wasn't planned out to happen like that. I'm pretty sure Dean Ambrose return was planned out for that Monday, but with Roman getting hurt, I mean they had to change some things around. So last Monday was more so just to get that point across that Dean was back. So I feel like this Monday, that's when you'll see, them actually address that point with Paul being there, and I don't know if he's gonna address Seth Rollins directly or address it with Triple H.
Yeah, and after that we had the chase. You had Seth Rollins running like an action movie star from Cena and Ambrose, and it was kind of a pretty entertaining chase. Now he was fighting Ambrose 1 second. He would like shove like a suitcase or like a piece of equipment in front of one while he's fighting the other. It was kind of entertaining. Then you just had Seth Rollins apparently committed Grand Theft Auto because he stole in the car.
and the best part, we got an internet meme out of it.
Yes, a great meme. And you had
Mhm.
like Ambrose jumped onto the. Ambrose is just he's just hilarious. Like he jumped in the back open trunk of the van, the little SUV, whatever it's called.
I can only imagine what would have happened if Dean got fully in and Seth did not notice.
Yes. And you had like Cena. He grabbed the door. I think Cena could have ripped the door off, quite frankly, but yeah. Yes, and you see Rollins get away. He's going to ice. He's going on I-75. Charlie going to hit the border somewhere, but anyway, back.
Hey, I actually like to interject on that.
Go ahead.
Uh, I've had on a few different wrestling pages, I've heard a few people complain that it made John Cena look lazy. Personally, I didn't see it. I thought it actually made Dean Ambrose look better. Like if they both just jumped in the back seat, it kind of makes it takes away from Dean Ambrose being crazy.
Right.
If I thought it was a little bit better that you have John Cena, the same guy, go for the door, and Dean Ambrose, the crazy guy, jump into the back seat.
Yep, it makes sense.
Yeah, I saw that report too, where somebody said like it was Bleach Report, and I'm not going to say anything bad about them on this podcast because you guys already know. Okay. They are like the worst dirt sheet in the history of this professional business. They are good for other sports, but when it comes to wrestling, they have no idea what they're talking about unless they're giving an opinion. But anyway, yes, they said Cena wasn't committed as Ambrose. And I was thinking to myself, Ambrose is a lunatic. This says his character all over it, jumping in the back of a moving vehicle. Cena, for the most part, he would have just probably ripped the door off. Well, yeah, that would have took away from Ambrose's character. And Grant, you were about to say something?
Oh no, I was just saying that it definitely made more sense for Dean to jump in the back of the van than it would have for Cena.
Yeah.
And it just like you said as far as Dean's character goes, it just works out better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And elsewhere, next on the show, we had Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship that Miz just won. last night. And surprise, surprise, Dolph Ziggler regains. I mean, I'm trying to get my thoughts on this change. Like, they're trying to AJ Lee page this feud right now. That's what I'm thinking because of that quick child change. Like, was there really a need for that? Why even take the title off of Ziggler if you're just going to give it back to Miz the next night? Grant, you first.
Um, like I didn't personally like the title change, like back and forth. I would have rather them just keep it on Dolph, but the fact that he has it back, that works for me. Um, I want to see them probably give him this reign a little bit more longevity, so it kind of make the Intercontinental title mean something. Like this feud over the Intercontinental title is probably the best feud they've had over that belt in quite some time. Um,
Agreed.
so if we could get maybe one or two more, like over the next maybe say 6 months of Dolph's reign, and make it feel important like that, I think we'll be somewhere back to where it's like, okay, the WWE World Heavyweight title is the main title, but the Intercontinental title is you want to see those matches because these are the next guys up. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Mock,
Yeah.
your thoughts on the match?
I hate to be the bad guy here, but I disagree with this. I mean, just having the title flip flop doesn't give it more meaning. If anything, it gives it less meaning. You could just easily flip flop it this quickly. The fact
Well,
that
no, that's what I meant.
That's what he
That's what I
said.
said. I would have rather they didn't do the title change, but that the fact that they did, at least is back on Dolph now. Now I would like to see a longer reign out of.
I just think, what the hell was the point? Especially with what happened on SmackDown with a number one contenders match. Then, like, wait, didn't even though Miz lost the title again, he has a rematch clause, doesn't he? What the hell happened to that?
Good point.
Maybe they're saving that one.
Uh, oh, by the way, I just got a notification. Ed is online.
Okay, Aaron.
When I saw that, the first thing that popped into my mind was, for fuck's sake, what the hell? Like, it really seemed like it came out of nowhere. If they did this with kind of like Cesaro and Sheamus, I think it would make sense because given their wrestling styles, you could kind of play on a maybe like that was just a better man on that night. But with this one, I just kind of looked at it and thought, okay, so Ziggler won the title from The Miz. Miz won the title from Ziggler. Now you're putting it back on him the exact next night. What? Why? What would possess them to think this was a good idea?
Maybe they didn't think it was a good idea putting it on Miz, and they were trying to fix their mistake.
Yeah, they just had a knee-jerk reaction.
I think they just did it to piss people off, and congratulations, my blood pressure is up, and they have succeeded.
I mean, those two have been having some kick-ass matches, but that decision to put the title back on, like, maybe I would have been cool if they didn't like do it like on the next SmackDown after this one. But yeah, there's no reason for a 24-hour run. Moving on. Okay. Damn it. What was the next match on? The next match. Wait a minute. It was Usos versus what? It was the Usos versus Cesaro. And Goldust and Stardust. While the Usos were teaming with Sheamus.
Basically, we have filler.
I feel it. Yeah, I even forgot who won this match. If you guys could clue me in, I believe it was the Usos to get their
It
momentum back.
it doesn't really matter is the problem. It became a filler match where no one cared.
Yeah, I can't remember the finish.
Exactly. If you can't even remember the finish, why bother?
The Usos won. I remember
Yeah,
the finish. The Usos
I'm sorry. What match are you guys talking about?
the
the
Sheamus
six man.
and the Usos versus the Usos and Cesaro.
I mean the Dust Brothers.
Yeah, the Dust
Oh.
Brothers.
Oh well, I mean, I can't remember the finish, but I'm guessing there was a bro kick and a splash involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to watch the match to know the finish to that one.
Because they've done it so many times.
Super kick, splash, pin.
Okay, after that we had. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, now I'm looking. We had the Usos. Oh, we had Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee.
I skipped it. I honestly skipped that match.
Uh,
Oh no, my bad. No, my bad. We had another Divas match. I forgot who. It was so irrelevant. I think it was Rosa Mendez and Natalia versus Alicia Fox and I'm pretty sure it was Karen.
Again, I skipped it, so
Was that? I don't think that was it. I don't remember, but I know we had you had a Page match. You had Page versus who was that? Was it Natalia?
No, I'm pretty sure it was AJ Lee versus Nikki and Paige on commentary telling everybody that she
yeah, I think the other Divas match was Natalia with Rosa Mendez versus Summer Rae with Layla.
Yep, that was it.
That was SmackDown.
No, it was a singles match.
Raw.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. It was Natalia versus Summer Rae, the singles match.
Because Total Divas, and we
Right.
need to promote the hell out of that show.
Yeah.
Yes, it was just a Total Divas promotion. And let me
Yeah,
say before we
that's why I flipped the channel. I was like, screw this.
didn't Natalia look like the aggressor here?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Well, I thought
she did, but I mean, uh, I'm more surprised that she actually won something. To be honest with you.
And that's sad.
like I just think they should just give her a new. Like you need the heel ambulance. But I just been saying that, and Mox been arguing with me about it. Saying we don't need a heel.
Yeah, Steph, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I
But
should.
one time,
Yeah,
Huh?
you should be ashamed of yourself, young man.
Why?
Because the one time Natalia went,
It's become so irrelevant, so.
I don't think you understand. This is like Rock versus Cena. This is
Yeah,
once in a
something-
lifetime.
Bullshit, it is.
No, next match was Ambrose versus Kane.
Oh, that one. Sorry, I thought we were still talking about the Divas. I kind of spaced out after that. You went Divas, you said Total Divas, my brain went dead.
I don't blame you.
Okay, but yeah, Kane versus Ambrose. Where to begin? I want to say I like the match, but the problem is I just hate corporate Kane. I hate this Kane gimmick thing they got with him. I hate it.
It was a good match, but it just really exposed Kane and how bad a shape he is in because he was barely bumping around. He can still bump, but he's not moving like he used to.
Yeah.
He really showed his age here. But good way to return to action for Ambrose. He got the victory. There he is. Got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and then we had Ambrose locked in a closet.
Yes. Seth Rollins returned from he was going to IHOP, I believe. He was running for the border. Somehow there was a fork in the road where he turned back to the arena.
He comes back talking to Triple H, asking him what is he gonna do about this lunatic. Before Triple H can get out a full sentence, the lunatic friend sneaks up from behind.
Surprise, motherfucker. That seems to be like the whole thing about Ambrose, just surprise.
And I think this was making it so great because, like, him being under the box, that was great.
Wait.
Oh, at that point, I literally mouthed the great words of Chappelle. Gotcha, bitch.
Wait, guys, we're not there yet. Yes, we have Triple H about to throw Dean Ambrose out the arena, but then you hear Stephanie screaming McMahon in her loud voice, who reminds me of her father, saying,
No, don't throw him out. Lock him in here.
into a back room, and you have security toss Ambrose into the room, and you have them standing guard. Stephanie explains to Triple H her actions, is like, we threw him out many times now, and he has just come back. Why won't we just leave him here in this room where we can keep an eye on him?
Oh, do you like the explanation they came up with, too, on Main Event?
Yes, that was great.
How'd you get out? Use the back door.
So he basically used my dream with me and AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Gross.
He said, well, I'm not Houdini. He's like, I just walked. There's a back door.
Miz was mad like.
I'm sorry, this is the kind of crazy comedy I love. It's just simple but effective.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I was
It's
just
almost
hoping,
anime-ish in a weird way.
I was hoping he said he came out through the air vent or something.
Everyone was expecting that, and he's just like, door. And it's like, that's it.
Yeah, they weren't really that bright. They locked me in a room with 2 doors.
I love Stephanie's explanation though. Like we've never kicked someone out who hasn't come back. Like as stupid as the way he got out was, at least they're finally not insulting our intelligence. In some
Right.
way,
At
shape,
least
or
they
form.
finally explained it and it made sense. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I can just picture though that the whole inside segment. If they had a camera in there, I can see Dean Ambrose looking at the back door and going, "Huh," and just using it.
Just walks out.
Just, huh? That was easy.
Just whistling, walking down the hall. He's like, hey, how'd you get out? Back door. You wouldn't be looking out. You would just be opening a doctor comes back door.
You know, I want to ask you guys a question.
So,
How would you have responded to this Oh, God.
Yes.
What happened?
I was gonna ask how you guys would have responded if perhaps, like, you know, the first time around everything's fine, Triple H checks up on them, nothing happens, and then the next time they go back to the security standing in front of the room, like everybody's laid out and you just see John Cena opening the door.
That would counteract what he said earlier, then, though. So.
Oh yeah, saving Ambrose. Like he wanted his shot at Raw.
Yeah, he did his shot before Ambrose did. So that would make no sense in that regard, even though that's still out of character, but at least they stuck to it. The idea of Ambrose found a back door when they didn't even think about it actually makes sense, though.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm glad the WWE is doing more of. At least they're explaining and coming to conclusions and coming full circle with a lot of their stories now. Because for a while they just was like basically calling us all idiots. Like that didn't really happen.
And for those naysayers about janitor closets that don't have back doors, I'm a former janitor, and I can tell you, in some big buildings, some janitor closets have 2 doors. that because they'll have a door on the opposite side of the wall to get to areas
And
quicker
Mac
between
has
them.
escaped from them from time to time.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I could tell you janitorial war stories, but we're not here to talk about that.
Oh man, we can say that for another day, but that would be.
No, we will never say that because we want to have an audience still.
Okay, next up, I think we can just. There's so much content right here. I think it was Adam Rose. I believe it was Adam Rose and the Bunny.
That's pretty much my reaction.
Adam Rose and his neon green coat.
I don't mind Adam Rose, but my God, the whole putting him against Slater Gare with no explanation, just
After they gave Slayer this huge push, he beat Rollins 1, 2, 3. Even if it wasn't distracted.
I wish they would have capitalized on that.
Yeah, he beat Rollins and he beat somebody else that same week. Was it Dolph Ziggler? I think.
Yes, he beat Dolph Ziggler, and Ziggler laid him out with a
Zigzag. Yeah. But they could have definitely went somewhere with that. They could have had him like because he beat Rollins because of Ambrose. He beat Dolph on a count out, I think, and I think they could have just had him keep beating like the bigger stars just off of DQ stuff like that, and like just to kind of build his character a little bit.
Like slowly climb back up the ladder. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. He could have been the U.S. He could have been beat Sheamus with a fluke. Hey, Ed, we finally got you, buddy.
Right.
Hey guys, what's up?
So, man, we're talking about we're on the Bunny, Adam Rose, and Titus O'Neil.
All right.
Your thoughts?
Hold on. I'm just checking my notes.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do this. I'm gonna let you point us out to the because I'm all discombobulated. I don't got my notes. I've been freestyling with my mic skills. I've been seeing Punk in it.
Right.
Oh God, just wait till Monday.
What?
Monday is coming. Raw is in Chicago.
Oh my God.
Welcome to my hometown, people.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna somehow address it, but they're not going to they're gonna troll the fans. That's for sure. Yeah.
They should do the meme. Like
I do not look forward to the trolling.
They should have did the meme. This could be the best return for Bad News Barrett. They should do him like with the meme. He comes out with the jacket, like has his back turned. Me, my eyes. The Nobel Prize when a leader speaks. Turns around. I'm afraid I got some bad news.
I don't.
Chicago riot.
I think it would.
Yeah,
work
if they do
better
that,
if-
Chicago just might riot. You will see shit hit the fan.
It would work better if because if Wade Barrett is gonna come back as a face, I think it would work better for Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
I agree. Yeah, Bo Dallas doing that makes more sense, and it keeps him as a heel.
Yeah.
They're probably
And honest to God, I would love to see Chicago rip apart Bo Dallas, because you know what? There's one thing about Chicago: they have passion about their hometown heroes,
and they're loyal.
Yes, they're loyal as hell. If you talk bad about them, even if they know they quit on them, they will still kick your ass.
I don't know about that, because remember last time Raw came to Chicago? And they had multiple promos addressing Punk, and even Stephanie was like, I think she told Daniel Bryan or something that, well, Punk isn't here. Everybody wants you to quit, like CM Punk did.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought that was confirmation. Punk's coming
Did you
back.
hear the crowd in that? The crowd was so loud they could not censor what the crowd was saying. The crowd literally was booing Stephanie, trying to boo Stephanie out of the building. They went on a tangent when Paul Heyman started talking smack about it. They would keep on chanting so loud that they could not be ignored. This is gonna happen again.
I don't know.
WWE does try to censor some of the chants, but my God, is it gonna happen?
Okay, back to the Raw. Back to Adam Rose and the Bunny.
All right.
They lost by no. It was actually a clean win. I think the Bunny. I believe the Bunny. No. Adam Rose picked up the pin. See,
Yeah.
this is why I need you. What was your thoughts on the match?
The Bunny did the seating senton on Titus O'Neil outside, and Adam Rose did the party foul on Heath Slater.
I think they just need to give Adam Rose a legitimate tag team partner that's not in a bunny suit, and just have them as a tag team, because I think that would work.
Yeah,
I always thought it should have been Zack Ryder.
Ryder would have been a good choice. The two party guys.
Yeah. Like it could be like
I mean, Sami Zayn could be thrown up from NXT to join them because Sami Zayn was good to partner with Rose.
But I was saying Zack Ryder because he's not doing anything, but Sami Zayn, he could come up and be his own character.
I think they should do who's actually in the suit with the partner and have him take off the suit because they have Justin Gabriel in there right now.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, you gotta let him speak.
Yeah. But I really think that it's so weird that the Bunny is way more over than Adam Rose now.
Yes, it is. They were trying to reverse psychology us into hashtagging Bunny Mania so it can trend worldwide.
Yeah, and I thought Bunny Mania was the match at WrestleMania 24 with Beth Phoenix and was it Melina?
Melina and Ashley, I believe.
Yeah. Was it? Oh, no, it was actually Ashley Massaro and Maria Kanellis versus Beth Phoenix and Melina.
God, remember when the ideas could be on Playboy magazine? It would be an okay thing.
Those are the days.
Yes, you can't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get Eva Marie to start doing these magazine covers, but it's only going to get so far. So,
I'm sorry, what?
Trying to get Eva Marie to do these fitness magazine covers.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I must have something caught in my throat.
So, Ed, what was the next match after this?
After this match, we had let's see. Yeah. Nikki and Brie were in the ring. They had like that shitty promo that was going on, and they were fighting over the Bella name.
You know what? They can fight over that all they want. I think whoever wins ultimately will lose, though.
I don't care even if they have a ladder match with the name Bella suspended above the ring. It still would be a shitty match.
Oh my
I can totally see them doing that, though.
I gotta say, go ahead, Matt. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just, I don't want to hate on them so much, but they are horrible actors. Their ring skills have improved immensely, though. I give them that much credit. Especially at Night of Champions, when Nikki took that huge bump to the floor, that actually impressed me, that she was willing to take a bump like that. Or the Tower of Doom that they did. I'm impressed by their wrestling skills. I'm not impressed by their acting skills, however. It's just, oh my god.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, Nikki has improved, yeah, but Brie is still shit, man.
I think they had better acting in the room. Points if you get that reference.
Yeah, the Tommy Wiseau one.
That's a funny story, Mark.
Yeah, that was
Seriously, that was better acted.
You're tearing me apart, Brie.
And before we move on, I just need to say this. Brie Bella's theme music is better than Nikki's, but it's still shit. Brie Bella. I was
okay,
like,
I'm back.
did they do this to bury her?
I
I know it's K-Fed, but are they actually trying to bury Brie Bella with this crappy theme song?
I think Stephanie borrowed Triple H's shovel.
Okay, after this, I believe it was AJ Lee. Oh yeah, AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella,
hmm
and it was
Again,
actually a decent match. You had Paige on commentary, letting everybody know that her and AJ are no longer frenemies; they're just enemies. Ooh.
okay.
And you had AJ Lee pick up the victory with the Black Widow. It's actually a pretty decent match. Can't complain. So Ed, you first.
it was like you said, it was a decent match, but except for that ass submission that Nikki did, like on the ropes. Like I don't even know what she was going for. I heard that she was doing that before, like in house shows. She was calling it the Nicki Minaj. It's so stupid that
Nope, that's it. I quit.
yeah.
That is seriously
So-
the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
So you're gonna yeah, you're gonna put the Divas title on her? Yeah. Well, way to go with flushing the title down the toilet, even more so than it already is.
Right. Mech,
Yeah.
thoughts?
I honestly don't have any thoughts on this match because I skipped this match because Nikki Bella altogether. I respect that she's gotten better at wrestling. I just cannot stand diva matches now. Most of the time, I just can't stand them because I love watching TNA because it is a nice alternative to WWE. Their female matches are way better.
But the
They're
talent's
so much
better
better.
over here.
Just nothing. Once you watch a good knockouts match and compare it to a good divas match, it's no contest. The knockouts have better matches.
Yeah, but we have the better talent. They have the better treatment of their roster.
That's kind of debatable.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah,
the
we can
Divas.
debate this. We can go all night.
Because I think the Divas roster is even larger, you know. But because who do we have in the Knockouts division? You know, it's the same people we had for the past 7 years.
Actually, not true. We've actually had a lot of recent. There have been lots of recent additions to the Knockouts division, including the newly added Havoc.
Wait, let me help you out there. We had 2 new additions, Brittany and Havoc.
Yeah.
No,
That's it.
Angelina.
Angelina was around like for 7 years.
Yeah, she stopped for a while and then she came back.
Looking like she
Velvet's
got
still
straight
there.
out.
We have the original Knockout Gail Kim, who's the current champ. We have Madison Rain running around.
Mac,
She's been
not to
around
cut
for a
you
while.
off. Not to cut we're gonna get to TNA in a second after this.
I did not watch the show this week because I had something I had to do. So
Okay, but we can get to the knockouts when we get there. And the next match was
After that we had the Usos. The Usos versus Dust Brothers rematch that it was announced for SmackDown. You guys were looking forward to it?
a little bit.
I did not hear that announcement. So I missed SmackDown too. So I don't know the results of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit, a little bit.
All right. Randy Orton versus John Cena was the main event. That was it.
I love Vince for this. Wait, Ed, I don't mean to interrupt you, but let me say
Right.
that. Wait, let me go through what happened in the match. Oh
Okay.
my God, these two acted like they could care less about putting on a good match.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of both men, but they acted like they could care less. It was nitty-picky. Like they just told the story like Orton's gonna do whatever it takes to win, and Cena's not gonna give up. Blah blah blah. We heard it. Blah.
Yeah.
Then it got really interesting when Kane and Seth Rollins came out. They attacked John Cena, and Seth Rollins motioned for Kane to get the cement blocks. But when Kane went to this box that was laying there for the good start of the match, he pulls back the cover that was covering up this box, and pulls back to reveal Dean Ambrose.
Hi there.
And he
Yeah.
starts going crazy. He started beating on anybody he saw in his sights.
You
And
swing it at anything that by God moves.
yes,
Sorry.
yeah, let me finish, man. I'll get to you in a second. And yes, and the really big takeaway I saw right here was the crossbody from the announce table. They hit on Orton, Kane, and Rollins. It was just wild. So yeah, Cena wins by DQ, and it was a boring match. And okay, before I get to you two, let me just say this: everybody knows I'm a big fan of John Cena's, and I'm a big fan of Randy Orton's to a lesser extent. But God, they just wanted to put. I think they just had this mentality like, who cares? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I could, man, Vince McMahon for booking this match to shove it in the fans' faces because
Right.
they've been starting to say, "Oh my God, Roman Reigns boring. Oh my God, Bray Wyatt boring." So what does Mr. McMahon do? Oh, you don't want anything new? Okay, I'm going to give you the same old crap. Okay, Ed, go.
I don't know if I have anything to add. You pretty much nailed it. We had Orton versus Cena part 20 goddamn 5 or something. I don't know. We lost count at this point.
Okay, Ed.
Just
Yeah, go for it, man.
I think what the booking fails to realize is that we've seen Orton and Cena. They have some good matches, they have some okay matches, but at this point, even when we get to the point that they don't care anymore, I think it's time to move the fuck on.
Agreed.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be swearing a lot for this one.
Wait. Before I cut you off, man. I think this was just on purpose because Vince McMahon was getting tired of hearing the fans saying they're bored of the movie. Because he tries to give us something new, but then we'd be like, oh my God, this is boring. Then like, okay, we're just going to give you the same old crap, and let's go back to Ed.
Right. You know, I'm probably one of the minorities who always love whenever Randy Orton versus versus John Cena's announced.
It was me too.
Yeah, because they have amazing chemistry, like better than most of the guys on the roster, and I always care about it only if there's like you got to have a storyline, heading towards it. That's why I was one of the minorities again when I loved the Champion of Champions feud that was going on in late last year. But if you're gonna just have a match and no storyline driving it, and both guys not caring, I don't care either when I'm watching the match. So I know it probably is, like you said, A-Jade. It's very self-aware by Vince McMahon that because he wants to again spoon feed us the stuff that we're conditioned to seeing every single week. So that's like him giving us the middle finger. But at the same time, I think he could have done much better, than have it like, as a throwaway match on Raw, you know. So yeah, I didn't care. I didn't care much for the match, but the aftermath was really good. Ambrose came out of the closet, so yeah, that was cool, and he got to stand, almost shoulder to shoulder with John Cena to close the show. But I'm kind of afraid because, whenever somebody main events with John Cena in a tag match, they always have a shitty career after that. You look at a guy like Evan Bourne, Big E Langston, these are the guys that are just on the top of my head. And I know that Dean Ambrose is going to be next. Like, next week they're probably going to have a tag match. So this really makes me scared for Dean Ambrose, because it really feels like he's like WWE's second choice, if not Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. My Firefox crashed. I had too many. I had
Porn
too many
sites?
tabs open.
Oh,
And
okay.
continue back to what you were saying, and Ed, I'm going to let you take over the review since I didn't watch it this week.
You're gonna talk about TNA?
Yeah, after this, yeah, we can talk about TNA. Well, I'm
All
going to
right,
let
all right.
you
Yeah.
do most of the talking since I watched TNA. I'm getting frustrated with their direction.
Yeah. Actually, the Impact was pretty good, but yeah. Go ahead, Mac. What do you wanna you wanna talk about the main event
Of what?
of,
I
of Raw?
oh, me the Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, as far as Orton versus Cena goes,
Mhm.
like it's like you said, when there's a story behind it, they put all the effort. You
Mhm.
can see them put the effort.
Right.
When they honestly just don't give a fuck, there's like, what the hell's the point? The
Mhm.
reason these two work though is because they've been working together for about 10 years now. They've been doing this shit for a long time.
Mhm.
The fact of the matter is they know each other inside and out, probably better than any other wrestler in the company.
Mhm.
But
That
the
being said,
problem,
I think even they are bored of each other. It's just like the relationship has gotten stale, ladies and gentlemen.
like I say, the problem there is remember back in '07, '09, they were just having these good matches. In '09, they had these classics. They had the
Oh
Hell
yeah.
in a Cell match. They had the I Quit match. They
Oh
had the
god.
Iron Man match.
Mhm.
07 through '09 was those feuds were the only thing keeping those years alive, honestly, because there wasn't anything else but Cena and Orton in those years.
Mhm.
Yeah, and people will still say that one Royal Rumble match ruined the whole significance of their history.
Nah, I don't think so.
But anyway, yeah, back to what Ed was saying. When there's like a story behind it, they have amazing matches. I remember February no, this year, they had
Mhm.
that match on Raw, and it was pretty good.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They both knew each other. They told a good story in the ring too.
Right.
And that's all I gotta say about that. Any
And
last comments before we move on to Impact? And I turn over
hey,
to Ed.
the like you said, the match that they had at Breaking Point, a lot of people said like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker was probably match of the decade. I still say, man, that Randy Orton and John Cena match was like match of the year. That they
Uh,
had, because the Breaking Point match, it wasn't just a match, it was a movie. It really felt like a movie. You know
Agreed.
what when you watch it, Randy Orton's mannerisms and even Cena's storytelling, it was just amazing. Even a close second is their Iron Man match that they had at Bragging Rights.
oh, the Iron Man match that Orton tried to blow Cena up in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was a really good match. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love stuff like that when they just go over the top. But even if they think, oh, this is just ridiculous, it's not gonna work. It's gonna work. It's freaking wrestling. That's what it's all about.
It's about
Um,
entertainment.
yeah, that it's
Are
it's
you
been
not
like,
entertained?
are you not sports entertained?
That
Are you not sports entertained?
should be a
Yeah.
shirt too.
Oh yeah, with Triple H's face on it. Um, So,
Brilliant.
it's been that like for the past 30 years where it's all about that, going over the top and stuff like that. So, we had frickin' Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. So, you know, trying to blow something up is like a walk in the park compared to what these guys been through, you
True.
know? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say right now.
Yep. And now we head to Impact this Wednesday. And Ed, I'm going to let you take over from here.
I think I
Uh,
might have to bow out of the conversation for a little bit because I only watched highlights of SmackDown and I wasn't able to watch Impact this week, so I'm gonna bow
Okay,
out for a
Ed,
little
I'll
bit.
be right back. I'll let you start off, and I'll come back in. I'll be right back.
all right, I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible.
No, no, okay,
With
okay, you can, but you can take.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, first off, the show started off with the Gold Rush tournament. It was called the New York Gold Rush tournament because, well, the winner would get a title shot of his choosing, next week. MVP had a great match with Loki. It was just phenomenal, and Loki still got it, man. Here he countered MVP's toss, like from the as he was Irish whipping Loki. Loki rebounded for the ropes. MVP tried to toss him backwards, but Loki countered and just did the double stomp on MVP as he was going down. Um, MVP beat Loki with the drive by.
Mm.
Great match. A lot of intensity going on.
Now,
Then we got
oh,
yeah.
go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry.
Then we have a backstage segment. It was funny with the bromance. Robbie E was promoting his spot in the Amazing Race. I heard it was his portion in that show was very funny. And he's probably the only reason that you should watch the Amazing Race. I always thought that, yeah, Robbie E is a hell of a character. He's very funny. And I think he's well underrated. A lot of people might hate him for winning X Division titles and the TV title and stuff like that, taking spots from other talented guys. But the dude is talented in himself. And besides that, he's even a good wrestler. So that's a triple tough guy. Um, After that, we got a recap from last week's ladder match, which was amazing.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's just this video package really didn't do it justice, but I think it gave you a sense of what happened to the point where you're like, oh, I'm gonna YouTube this. I really need to watch this match. Um, After that, we got the second Gold Rush match for the tournament. Robbie E came out and he was like, all right, who's my opponent? And it was answered by Tajiri. Tajiri came out and he still is pudgy. He still is in the worst shape he's ever been, but the dude still can go here. Way better than his first impression. He got to break out the Muda rebound that he does with the handspring. He still got it, but it's like 50% for what he once was. But you know what? That 50% is still faster than most of the guys in the TNA roster. Um, very good match. It went for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but it was very good for what it was given. Tajiri broke out the green mist on Robbie E and then kicked him in the face for the win. And fans were chanting for Tajiri throughout the match. You still got it. There was even a portion of the match where Robbie E was beating the shit out of Tajiri. And the fans accidentally said, "You still got it," and Robbie says, "Of course I still do." It was funny, I thought. After that, we got a Bound for Glory promo. I'm still wondering what's going to be the card for Bound for Glory.
Me too, because you know how the
Mhm.
Bound for Glory system works with these points,
Yeah,
and that's just it's just it's just a catastrophe. But go
right.
ahead.
And that's like out of the window. And I heard that basically TNA, gave everything, to Wrestle One. Wrestle One is booking it. Wrestle One is providing for it. Wrestle One is paying for it. So, this is like, I think Wrestle One is TNA's savior in a way, because of they have a place to book Bound for Glory, and I think it could be like the biggest show that they've ever had. Um, but it's still, I think it's more beneficial for Wrestle One to be associated with TNA.
I'm just shaking
Um,
my head for TNA.
oh yeah, man, I'm really feeling sorry for TNA. I really wish that
When you let a joint promotion that you are in business with just take over your whole wrestling operations, that everything that matters, your
hmm
booking, your creative,
hmm
I
might as
don't.
well sell it to Muda.
Oh, I respect Muda, so I got faith in
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, so might as well just give it to him. I think he would do a better job than Dixie, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how I can tell Muda wrong. I just have too much respect for the guy.
Yeah. So after that, we got Rockstar Spud backstage, and he was talking on the phone with EC3. Well, before that, the camera guy slash interviewer was talking to Rockstar Spud and saying like, okay, what do you is there still tension between you and EC3? No, Sir is still my best friend. And he even showed it on his phone where EC3 was calling him, and it just said like Ethan Carter slash best friend, and he took the call. And then after that, there was a commercial break, and then when they came back, Spud was still on the phone with EC3, and he was like, "You can't talk to me like that." And then, all right, I'm sorry for shouting. So they're teasing breakup between Rockstar Spud and EC3, and I'm really looking forward to Spud, breaking out on his own.
Yeah, I think that's gonna, but I think personally that's gonna lose like a dimension to EC3's character. But I
Um,
think
I
he'll just.
I don't know about that because have you heard that Brodus Clay has been signed?
Yeah, but I saw the spoiler.
Yeah, so EC3 has a new guy, go-to guy, and
New Stooge.
yeah, and Brodus is actually pretty funny. Take away the Funkasaurus thing, he's very funny,
Yeah,
in his own way. Um, it's great having a bodyguard. It just makes you seem that much more, legit and that much more important in your role. So I think, yeah, Clay is a better guy to be like EC3's lackey. I think.
yeah, it's gonna
Um,
be a Barrelak. I see that.
yeah.
My
So
only
act,
problem. Oh, go ahead, Ed.
go for it. It's all right.
Okay, my only problem with this whole Brothers Clay thing is they easily let this leak.
Mhm.
Like TNA, the problem with TNA is because they tape so much in advance. It's easy to for them to get a leak, and they don't crack down on leaks in their own company like WWE does, where they
Mhm.
won't allow phones in the backstage by crew workers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I, I I think it's gotten to the point where they just don't care. They just want any type of publicity, you
yeah,
know?
because I remember a few years ago, like I think Cena was about to face someone, and somebody was talking on the phone backstage. He grabbed their phone, told them like he'll call you back, and hanged up.
Mhm.
Because believe it or not, that guy was trying to inform the dirt sheets.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I can totally see that. Yeah.
yeah, they really cracked down hard on it in
Yeah.
WWE, where TNA, like you said, they want the publicity.
Yeah, and you hear about these budget cuts of like, 10 guys being let go, and many workers are being let go. That's just, of what they're telling you. It's nothing, I'm pretty sure it's a larger sum when you look into it, because a lot of guys were let go because of doing stuff like that, you know. And some of them were actually pretty talented writers, because there were times where you look at SmackDown was good or Main Event was good, and it was because of those guys. But they were let go because of talking to dirt sheets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I forget. I didn't even add that into account when it came to the
yeah,
WWE releases.
right.
But
So
go
yeah,
ahead.
so now TNA is like, okay, we can't, fire everybody, so let them do what they do. It's all right. Either way, we're gonna get publicity. You know, doesn't matter. Yeah, former Brodus Clay star, former WWE star Brodus Clay is signed to TNA. That's gonna get a little bit of buzz.
Yeah,
Um,
another former WWE guy, not a homegrown talent.
yeah, but I think Brodus Clay didn't reach his potential in WWE.
Agreed.
So yeah, so I think in TNA, he can be made as their own. You know, like EC3. You know, so
But then,
so yeah.
but then again, TNA dropped the ball by not putting Chavo Guerrero in the main event.
Yeah. Or at least in the X Division title picture.
Right.
Yeah, because I still think he can go. Um, so after that, we got another Gold Rush match, and it's Austin Aries He came out looking better than ever, and his opponent was Nux.
Now I saw
Um,
highlights of this. I'll admit it was kind of good dynamics putting these two together.
oh yeah, man. I didn't expect that they were gonna, I didn't expect them to have this good of a match. Nux is very good in the ring. A lot of
Yeah.
people are saying, "Oh, he's not talented." Even back in the Aces and Eights thing, they're like, "Oh, you need to let him go. You need to let go, like have the roster." And Nux is one of them. I don't understand. Nux was amazing in WWE, like in his final run, and here he got to show just a little bit of what he can do.
Yeah, from an
Um,
athletic standpoint.
Absolutely, man. He's going toe to toe with Austin Aries. And he's, going for it move by move. And it was great. It was a great match, an amazing match.
He hit that.
Um,
Sorry to cut you off. That Bray Wyatt crossbody.
oh,
Like
yeah.
ooh, the speed.
Yeah. I think it's even better than Bray Wyatt, the way Bray Wyatt does it. I mean, Bray used to do it even better, but I don't know what happened to him now. Nux can get some, height whenever he does that crossbody. Um, Yeah, and he was cutting uh, the wheelbarrow. He did that.
Oh,
The cartwheel, I mean. He
oh
that
yes. Oh man, for a guy his size, isn't Nux goes around 6'7"?
I think 6'8" or 6'9", something
Whoa,
like that.
for him to do a cartwheel,
Cause
it
he's
takes
as tall as
balance.
Kane. Yeah,
Yeah, it takes balance and flexibility.
yeah. And when I saw that, I immediately remembered Hillbilly Jim. When he used to do that, and that guy was freaking huge as well. He was like 6'10". Um, so yeah, like you can imagine like how agile Nux is, and I was thinking, this guy can be Samoa Joe's replacement in the X division because he's really that fast.
Yeah,
Um, so that happened, and that was a great match, like I said.
Brain
Um,
buster.
Aus- yeah, Austin Aries hit the brainbuster on Nux, and he held him up for like a few seconds. But it looked way impressive. The fans were like, going crazy about this. Really enjoyed this. Definitely match of the night.
Okay.
Um, I would even go as far as saying match of the week. Because
Hmm. Hmm. I'm not
well,
disagreeing, but it's just we only give match a week to a few match. A
well,
really good
it
match.
was. It might have been close because I even got to see SmackDown, and even Superstars had a great match. So it's really tough to say. But as far as I can tell, how the fans were reacting and how the match was going and how the guys shined, I definitely would say yeah, it was match of the week.
okay.
Um, After that, we got a recap from the Rude Lashley match. Um,
Cena Batista. I'm sorry.
yeah, Cena Batista part 6, I think. Um, so yeah, they had a really good match, like I said on our last podcast.
Yes, I love it. I love the psychology. I love the way they told the story, how they actually made
Hmm.
sense of when they removed MVP and Kenny Orton. I,
Yeah,
I mean, MVP and Kenny from
Kenny
the
Orton.
ring.
Yeah.
And like you said the last time, Bobby Lashley and those facial expressions.
Oh yeah.
Could you take over from there?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just amazing, and after that we had uh, another Gold Rush match, and it
I
was
believe this is the
Magnus.
one I saw. Was it Sam Shaw and Abyss?
No, it was Magnus. Magnus came out,
Eh,
and he got in the ring, and we're like, okay, who's his opponent? And Mr. Anderson came out, and the match was very short, but I thought it was very slow, very slow. It was because Magnus is a methodical type of wrestler, and Anderson picks his spots. So you put these two together, they really don't have that much of a chemistry. Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah, before we move on,
yeah,
before we move on, can I just say something? Because I was noticing like the posters for the Gold Rush tournament, and a
yeah,
lot of people were pointing out how Anderson looked like he gained weight.
yeah. He definitely did. Yeah,
He looked at like a puffed version of himself, like somebody inflated a little bit of air into his
yeah.
skin.
Very Matt Hardy-esque from like 4 years ago.
Good one, good one. And Magnus,
Hmm.
he could have been better than he is right now. If he, I don't know, he
Yeah.
just has a dry personality.
Yeah, I think Magnus is just full of himself. I think just, I don't think, many people in backstage like him because he has this arrogant thing going on for him. And Anderson is really unenthused because when he's motivated, you can see
Hmm.
him having like a six pack, and he's just really really a fit,
Yeah, and
and
he's kicking it in high gear in the ring.
oh, absolutely. He just goes fast, and he's even better than most of the roster when it comes down to it. But here he's just calling it in, and it's just so sad, to see a guy that can be the face of your company really under delivering in the ring. So I'm just saying, you got to let him go. You got to let him go because if you're not gonna do anything with him, if you're not gonna put a fire under his ass, then there's no point in keeping him around.
I
Uh,
completely agree. And Anderson is like one of my favorite personalities. He may not be
absolutely.
like the best. May not be like a a really really good worker. He's a good worker, but not a really good worker. He's a good performer, but not a really good performer. But what he
Yeah,
excels at is his personality and his mic
absolutely. Yeah.
skills and his promos.
Yeah, his matches are good when it's against somebody that can not can work
Motivate,
off him, not carry him but work off him.
motivate him.
Absolutely, yeah. A guy like Angle, Jeff Hardy, those guys who you can put them in the ring with Ken Anderson, and they absolutely deliver. But like I said, Magnus is, I think he's hated backstage. He really exudes that character. Um,
I don't hate Magnus.
mhm.
I tried to get behind him when he won the title because I was like,
Right.
okay, TNA's finally pushing homegrown young talent.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
but then he just failed to deliver.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's booking and that's management's fault too, to a larger extent.
Mhm. Absolutely. I definitely agree. He's another guy that can be the face of the company, but it's just they're just under delivering with this guy, and he's under delivering, I think, because he can have better matches. He's been given like 10, 12-minute matches, and it's just so hard for him to I don't know. It just seems hard for him to kick it to that next gear.
Yeah, I agree. Before we move on to this next match or next
All right.
segment, I remember I didn't watch it. Let me just say this about Magnus.
All right.
He had one of the worst pay-per-view matches in all
Mhm.
of wrestling this year when he
Yeah.
had the lockdown match with Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Definitely under delivered.
Yeah, I remember that just being terrible. It's up there with Orton Cena Royal Rumble. It was just like horrible.
The Cena Orton Rumble, at least that it was kind of self-aware. Um, yeah, the way Randy Orton was just, looking at the fans and just saying, "Oh, you don't care? I don't care," I don't care if you care or not. And Cena was like the guy who's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the 5 moves of doom. You know.
Yeah, but
But
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
go
but
ahead.
the Magnus and Joe match was just shit. There's no easy way to say about it. You know.
It hurts me when I see someone like Samoa Joe. Like he's been
Yeah.
doing this well until he got this recent fire lit under his ass. He's
Mhm.
been acting like he could care less about having good matches.
Right. Well, yeah, another guy that either, push him, put him in the right spot, or just let him go, you know? Because the guy's been stale for the past 8 years, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Next.
After that, we had an awesome Team 3D video package. Talking about their history and what tag team wrestling means to them, and it really showed that Team 3D is probably the one of the dying breed of real the last tag team
Yeah,
division.
like that old school Road Warriors style mentality.
Absolutely, yeah. They made it seem like a huge deal, and it just makes me think of what kind of video package they have in store for their Hall of Fame induction. You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah, you can
this
tell
was top notch. Yeah,
Bubba and Devon wanted to say Edge and Christian, but due
yeah.
to obvious reasons they couldn't, and they could not say the names of their past companies.
They could have said Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Jason, whatever his name.
Jason Rezzo.
Yeah, Jason Reza.
All right. Yeah, they could have done that. Or like, they could have said like, oh, we had great matches with many guys, and some guys took us to the limit, and those guys were reeking of awesomeness or something like that.
Oh,
Just like
good. That's a good one. That's a good subliminal. I like
yeah,
that.
guess some sort of nod to them. And yeah, I would love to see Edge and TNA. Just to talk to them, or just to have like some sort of promo going on.
I would
Because
too.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
because you got this best of five series going on. It just seems so important. It would be cool if you have Edge and maybe do another deal with WWE where they can bring in Christian. And for exchange, they can have like Kurt Angle in some sort of DVD documentary or whatever, kind of like what they did 2 years ago when they were inducting the Four Horsemen, you
Right.
know, and they had Christian for Slammiversary. So it would be cool if we get to see them, the three teams
Yeah,
be in the
but
same ring for the for the Team 3D Hall of Fame induction
that
ceremony.
would be great. But the problem with that
Absolutely awesome. Yeah.
is Adam Copeland Edge. He's kind of a really, really loyal guy.
Yeah, but I don't think to the point where he can't do his own thing. I mean, he's
Yeah,
starring in his own TV show for God's sakes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, hmm
Go ahead.
after that, they were recapping the tournament, saying how the matches ended and stuff like that. And the highlights, I think, some of the highlights were actually better than some of the matches, like the Magnus and Anderson match, and you know, even the Tajiri and Robbie, because they kicked them the highlights and stuff like that. So it was good. Um,
I believe I saw this next match. Was it the one with Abyss and Samuel Shaw?
yeah, but before that, they were hyping the Knockouts title match that's going to happen next week between Havoc and Gail Kim.
Hmm.
I don't know. I read in the spoilers that I think Havoc is taking it. I'm not sure if it's here or later on.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that VO package too, and let me just say they actually made Havoc look like a threat here
right.
to Gail
Yeah.
Kim.
And not just to say, not to be the skeptical one. I just Havoc is. I've seen her have great matches against like have with guys in the indies, and it was just it was great because she was the underdog. When she's having matches with girls, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right when she's like the monster. When she takes off that gas mask, I think that's the credibility is half gone. You know,
Mm,
and I just think it just takes away that aura that she has. Because when she makes that entrance, you're like, oh holy shit! Now here shit just got real. When
yes,
she gets in the ring and she starts wrestling and starts selling for moves and stuff like
like
that,
from Velvet Sky.
yeah, Velvet Sky, Rebel, Angelina Love, from all these guys, from all these chicks, it's just, you know, takes away the aura that Havoc
Yeah, I
has.
talked about this on your podcast. Selling for chicks like Velvet Sky, I would understand if it was someone like Madison Rain, who is a 5-time champion.
Mm-hmm.
But for little teeny wee Velvet Sky,
Yeah.
who
And
can
she's not even
barely,
a face. Yeah.
yes, who can barely do, it just hurt her monster heel character.
Yeah, and who is it benefiting? Because it's not benefiting Velvet because the fans are not cheering for a person that's just, putting them down like every single week, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, what was the point of giving her a comeback? But anyways, after that we have another I think it's the final Gold Rush
Mhm.
match. And it
I
is
love this match.
the Abyss and Samuel Shaw match. So, go ahead, since you've seen it.
Okay, you want me to start off? Okay, let me say this. Like, I love how Samuel Shaw is just so into his character, and you can see how that translates into the ring because how his pace is. It's because his character is like this psychopathic, a little insane. His pace is more slow and methodical, and he translates that well in the ring. And you saw it tonight with the Abyss. He was just doing whatever he could to work that arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was a spot in the match where referee Earl Hebner was busy either fixing a turnbuckle or something. He had his back turned, and I believe Samuel Shaw had a steel chair and whacked Abyss in the shoulder with it.
Hmm.
It was just a great match and a great showcase of what Samuel Shaw could do and how committed he is to his character. But in the match, Abyss got the 1, 2, 3. That really upset me with the Black Hole Slam.
Hmm.
I'm gonna let you take over, Ed. I said what I need to say. I just praised Samuel Shaw. Oh yeah, one more thing before I let you take over.
All right.
Abyss is in that Kane territory. I
Yeah.
respect Abyss. I respect him more almost. He's definitely top three when I give guys respect for TNA Originals for everything he did to put his body online for our entertainment. He's like the Mick Foley mixed with Kane in that
Hmm.
company because he has done all the hardcore matches, the Monsters Ball matches. But looking at him now, it has taken a toll on him. He's
Hmm.
barely able to move and he's barely able to take a good bump. I think he is time for him to hang it up, and it's a shame for me to say that at a young age like Chris Parks is. So Ed, you can take over.
Yeah. I definitely agree because there's not much for him to do. Even him winning, like, winning the world title or something like that, I just don't see it, I don't see him doing something like that. So, um, yeah, the match, I thought, I probably had like a different mindset to it because I love Samuel Shaw's character, but I don't like his matches because this match to me was really boring. I was really bored throughout this match. I was like, okay, what's the difference between seeing something like that and seeing a movie? An action scene where there's a lot of punches and kicks. Because this is what Samuel Shaw is doing in this match. Well, here's the difference. With the movie, there's a lot of cuts. It's definitely a shorter segment. And there's like music going in the background. You can hear the special effects. Yeah, there's blood. There's special effects. You can see it connect. The camera zooms in. The setting is different. But here, you're seeing the same setting go on, every time. There's not a lot of cuts. This is in real time, and the punches don't seem that effective, and the crowd doesn't seem that much into it. So it's like, yeah, it's really boring to me. And the fifth thing is that I'm not that enthused whenever I see Abyss now. And I
Maybe
really, yeah, and I don't get it. Why is he in the tournament? He's been losing most of his matches. He had a losing streak against Bram not too long ago.
Brown, the
Yeah,
generic British version of Gunner. Go ahead.
yeah. So I don't get it. But either way, Abyss won at the end. I don't agree. I don't agree him beating Samuel Shaw. Um, I don't know. how beneficial for Samuel Shaw it is to be in like that 5-way match that's coming up. But it's like, yeah, I don't care
But
about
he's
Abyss
the younger
anymore.
talent, and it would be more beneficial to him than someone who's already been to the top like Abyss.
Yeah. So I think for Samuel Shaw, since he's some sort of I guess he's kind of a face right now. A face with heel tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think, with him being that, with the crowd being sort of into him, they're into the character, that's for sure. So you gotta let him bring back his moveset, because he's amazing in the ring.
Agreed.
Um, yeah. So after that, Rude was hyping up of his segment next week, where he's gonna be, telling everybody, I'm not done yet. So what is that all about? Rude is gonna be coming back next week. Um, After that, we got the Gold Rush 5-way match. Oh man, this was a clusterfuck. I
I
mean,
think I turned off the TV. You can go ahead, take over. I'll be right back.
all right, okay, this was a clusterfuck. Now, if you think that the match that the Knockouts had at No Surrender for the number one contendership, this was almost to the same vein, if not for Austin Aries, because Austin Aries carried 4 other guys in this match. He was great in the ring. He was bumping around. He was hitting everybody with his moves, with his signature moves, and he was flying everywhere. While Tajiri was trying his best, but he's not. He can't get to the same speed that Aries is in. Um, Anderson was slow again. Abyss was slow again. He was barely getting something in. Um, and who else was in this match? I think it was yeah, MVP was in this match. He was playing that cowardly heel, trying to run away from every moment he can, and it's just I don't know. It just felt wrong. I mean, it would have been better if it was just MVP versus Aries in a number one contenders match. You know, it would have been much better, easier, much more. It would have made much more sense
More
rather than
organic.
yeah, rather than have like a 5-way match just for the sake of having it. Um, but I really think the reason why they did that is because they didn't have as many talents for the show as they can, so they were like, okay, we're just gonna have them in multiple matches. Um, yeah, so Aries won at the end, and yeah, after the match right away, they were hyping up next week, and they were showing clips of Aries' decision of which title he's going for. He said, and I quote, "There's not any other 2 wrestlers in the world that are better than me and you." So I guess the tag titles are out of the question. I'm guessing he's going for either the X Division or the World title. I'm guessing he's going to go for the X Division title against Samoa Joe, because if you think of great wrestlers, I don't think that he's going to go ahead and say Bobby Lashley. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's going to go ahead and say Samoa Joe, especially since Joe has been missing in this match in this show. So he's going to be next week's show, that's for sure.
And not to cut you off, Ed, because of the
All
history
right.
they have together. If you remember, Austin Aries, little
Mhm.
fun fact for you indie fans, Austin Aries was the one who broke Samoa Joe's undefeated streak in ROH.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Samoa Joe never beat Austin Aries.
I cannot remember.
Because in TNA, he never beat Austin Aries, that's for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe in the one night onlys. I haven't seen much of the one night onlys. But I'm very very sure that he never beat Austin Aries, not on Impact, not on pay-per-view.
Well, that's a
So
big deal.
oh yeah, so they can implement that into the storyline and saying, since we're like the 2 best wrestlers in the world, there's only got to be one great wrestler, and so far you've never beaten me. And Joe can be like, okay, This is my chance to redeem myself. This would be a great storyline, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and since Bound for Glory is coming up, it would be a great match for that show.
Yeah, and the Japanese fans would love it. They love the technical luchador style these two implement in their matches.
Absolutely. And I heard not too long ago that the reason that Joe isn't in Japan anymore is because the fans there don't take him seriously.
What?
I heard that before because they thought that he was a parody of most Japanese wrestlers. You know, he had the Kenta tights. He was using moves for, using Kenta Kobashi's moves and, Misawa moves and,
Mm,
yeah. So he was using, different mixtures of Japanese talent to the point that he was just like a parody of all of them, you know?
Yeah, I heard another story like from the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast that
Yeah.
he did with Stone Cold. Like Joe said somewhere he went to the Japan and he had a tag team partner who was just really disrespectful to
Yeah.
the fans there, and he was just making a bunch of really racist comments. And
Mm.
Joe said to the point where I don't want to travel with him, I don't want to room with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I can
I
see
think
where,
it
yeah,
could be it could be Coda, yeah.
I can see where people make the comparisons to Kenta Kobashi, and I think Joe has said on record was influenced, and I think he's paying tribute to him. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but I think he has said that.
Mm-hmm.
He does
Yeah,
respect.
he definitely is, and Kenta, aka Hideo Itami, is actually also influenced by the original, Kenta Kobashi. He also is paying tribute. But the difference is that yeah, for once I do think that the Japanese crowd is kind of
Bias.
well, they are definitely biased, but nowadays they're kind of much more, open-minded. But back then they were very, closed-minded and very, yeah, very biased towards, American talent.
This is because,
Um,
like, I hate to do this, I hate to say this, but because Kenta was like their native, so they were okay with that. And Joe
yeah,
was
yeah,
a foreigner. They viewed him as a poser.
yeah. So it's kind of like, if Punk was there and was doing moves for Kenta, you know. So, but the difference is when you look at Punk, you're like, oh, okay, he's different though. He's got a different character, all the tattoos,
Like,
the
let me
look.
let me give another comparison. It's like me, African American.
Uh-huh.
What if somebody saw me do the Three Amigos?
Mhm.
Like I just started doing Three Amigos and the Texas Cloverleaf, the Lasso from El Paso. People
Mhm.
will say I'm stealing from Eddie,
Yeah.
not knowing that I am a huge Eddie mark.
Right. It's like yeah, when Seth Rollins does it, and people are chanting Eddie, and when Brock Lesnar does it, people are chanting for Eddie. You know. So yeah, and you look at like I said, you look at Punk, he's a different character, but Joe, there was nothing that screamed a different character. He had the Kenta shorts, and
And
he
he was
was
a
fat.
silent killer.
Yeah, and he was fat, so people were like, okay, this guy must be like a parody. He absolutely has to be a parody, you know, because you look at everybody there. They were just rugged, they were just muscular and stuff like that. And you look at Joe, whenever he gets like chopped, his chest would swell up really quick. You know?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, and you look at the other guys there and who are just taking these chops and would barely show it, it's just, I don't know. I don't see why though, why they would call him a parody, but I kind of do. I'm, not fully though. Maybe because
Yeah,
I'm a
you try
Joe
to look
Mark.
at it from their perspective, but you don't all the way fully agree with what they're trying to establish.
Yeah. Well, I always try to, even in biased opinions, I even
Yeah.
try to see it in their perspective. But it's definitely sometimes tough when you're a fan of whatever they're talking about, whatever they're being biased against. Yeah. So yeah, that was Impact, and the show I thought was all right, and it was definitely wrestling, wrestling heavy. I would have loved it if No Surrender was wrestling heavy than having like a lot of promos and having Impact be the one with a lot of promos. Especially in the New York crowd. You need to milk that as much as you can with amazing matches.
Oh, they milked the New York crowd all right with all these advanced months in taping.
Absolutely, especially with the best of five series. You know,
Oh, I thought they
yeah,
were going to save that for Bound for Glory.
they should have done that though. They should have
I
had those. Yeah.
I'm going to let you finish, but spoiler warning because I don't know what the outcome is. But go ahead. Oh, I know who
Um.
the champions are, but I don't know the outcome of the best five series.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
know who I know who the champions are right now. Which is very baffling, but
Okay.
absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely baffling. I don't understand why it's that, but yeah, the best of five series has been great. I hope that their last match is going to be in Bound for Glory. I hope that maybe like next week or 2 weeks from now, the fourth tag match ends in some sort of no decision, and like by count out or disqualification or no contest. You can have like I don't know, maybe Samuel Shaw or I don't know. Think of him like a monster character, you know.
Uh, I can see Bram being jealous because him and Magnus aren't getting that attention.
Yeah, it could be like Bram. I would love if Bram goes ahead and tries to persuade Samuel Shaw and joining with him and be like, okay, nobody understand you other than me because before that Gunner was just accidentally not really he has his heart in the right place, but accidentally sometimes he would just go off on Shaw
And he would
and Bram.
yell at you. Yeah, what kind of friend would do that?
Yeah, so Bram would be like, "Yeah, I don't think he cares about you. I think, you should, sever ties with him and, join with somebody that really knows what you're going through and of how to be like an outcast and what it's like to be an outsider." So Bram can be with them and they could tag and then take out like the guys in the fourth match of the best of five series, and then they can have the last match of Bound for Glory in like a cage match because they don't want Bram and Samuel Shaw to interfere. You know
Ooh, I'm
that
not
would be
disagreeing with that, but I'm trying to see how big that cage is and to
yeah.
confine three teams.
Mhm. I mean,
Hmm.
come on, they had Lethal Lockdown a few times on that, so it
Yeah,
held like 10 guys. So it would be cool to bring back Lethal Lockdown for Bound for Glory. Definitely would be a sight to see. To have for first ever Lethal Lockdown for the tag titles. Definitely,
hopefully,
yeah,
go ahead.
it definitely would be historic. So yeah, go for it, man.
Hopefully, we won't see Willow diving in before the roof closes.
Yeah.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm probably one of the minority as well who was a fan of Willow. Because it really felt like Jeff Hardy was having fun and was really into the character. His move set was different. It just really felt like a different character, not in Jeff Hardy, which I really commend whenever somebody does something like that and is really committed to something like that.
Yeah, I gave it 3 weeks. His feud with Spud and EC3 were entertaining. If
Yeah.
you guys are a fan of comic books for all the listeners, you would
Mhm.
realize Jeff Hardy found inspiration from the Mad Hatter character from
Yeah.
Batman comics.
I can see multiple stuff from Batman comics. Like you got the Riddler because of his promos where he's like talking in riddles.
Mhm.
Um, you got the Joker with the maniacalness with the laughter and stuff like that.
You got the Mad Hatter with this umbrella and the visuals.
Oh, yeah, the visuals, yeah, but the umbrella I think from the Penguin.
Hmm,
You know,
didn't see
so
that.
yeah, because had like a few gimmicks on the umbrella, so it really I really remember really remember the Batman Returns movie where the Penguin had different types of umbrellas, and one of them actually was like the hypno wheel.
Oh yes, Danny DeVito. Oh my God, he played that role so perfectly.
Absolutely, yeah. So
And
yeah,
actually,
yeah. So you want to go for NXT now?
yeah, I can't lie. I'm gonna let you take over again.
You didn't see it?
Nope.
All right. The show started with, man, you're gonna hate this. It started off with the most uninteresting characters.
Wait. Does his name starts with a M and his last name starts with R?
His first name starts with what?
A M and last name R.
No.
Okay.
It's Mojo Rawley versus Bull Dempsey.
Ah, I just threw. You couldn't see it, but wait. Let me just turn my camera on just for this brief second.
You threw up a little bit?
Wait.
So,
Oh
yeah.
wait. Oh wait.
All right, go
I
ahead.
just wanted people to just see my facial reaction to this.
Okay.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Mojo Riley, stay off my TV. You, I don't even know. I don't like him. I just don't like him.
And a lot of people say he's a fun guy, to be around, but
Fun.
he's
He's like a little kid that you would take to Chuck E. Cheese just to get him to go to bed early.
just for him to shut up.
Yay, we get to play the plays. Yay. We stay high.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I really hate Mojo Rawley, yeah.
And what makes it worse is the people on the blogs compare him to John Cena. Where do you... Yes. Where do you people get this comparison? Even if you go back to Thugonomics Cena, he is nothing like Mojo.
Yeah. Even, now Cena, the only comparison that I see is that he's...
I'm being biased, but go ahead.
The only one I see is that he's a babyface getting booed. That's it.
Okay. And for the second reason, you people need to have a more open mind. Just because he's a white guy, a Caucasian that... I'm sorry. Just because he's a Caucasian that speaks Ebonics doesn't mean I'm going to automatically like him. Oh, if you're a Cena fan, you should love Mojo. No. Can't stand him.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's basically what I have to say about that.
And I totally agree, man. There's nothing much to say about it, but...
if you want to make a comparison, I'm sorry I had to cut you off again.
It's all right.
If you want to make a comparison, okay, Zack Ryder, put the addition sign. Drop Road Dogg, put the equal sign, then put Mojo Rawley. Done.
Yeah, I agree. Now I see that comparison. Definitely a better comparison than Cena.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or even you can think of, remember B Squared?
B Squared. Oh yeah, Cena's assistant, whatever.
Yeah, Cena's lackey back then.
Yeah, he does kind of come off more. He does give off a more B Squared vibe than he does.
Yeah.
Vibe.
So yeah, I totally see that going on. But man, I really hate this Mojo Rawley thing.
Me too,
wish.
Man, his moveset. God.
Yeah.
He wrestles like a good 300-pounder.
And I don't, the thing is, his moveset really reminds me of Festus.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, and he's not even that talented. And his finisher is the same one, the butt drop. Or the earthquake sit down.
Can we wrap this up? I'm getting a headache talking about Mojo.
All right.
Oh yeah,
So yeah.
one more thing that bothers me about Mojo is the flab. You are
So,
at the best performance center in America, one of the best gyms. You
hmm
should be working on your core, man. Come on.
right.
Go ahead.
And Mojo Rawley is also a guy that I'm really not enthused with. Not Mojo Rawley. I mean Bull Dempsey. I really don't care about Bull Dempsey.
Yeah, but he's
Uh,
the lesser of the two evils.
he's the lesser of the two evils, but he's still evil, man. You know, it's like saying, this shit smells a little bit better than that other shit. You know,
Good one.
so it's like, yeah, it's still shit, but it just, just stinks a little bit less. Um, after that match, Bull squashes Mojo really quick, and then after, right away, right after the match ends, Tyler Breeze comes out, and uh,
Yes. Something
and
that
I,
uplift this, save this segment. Yes.
and whenever I'm the kind of guy that while this match was going on, the Raleigh and Bull match was going on, I was thinking of other things, trying to get my mind off it. I had the TV lowered down a bit and
I don't
listening to
blame
music. Yeah, so I was trying to keep some notes in just so that I can review it. But as soon as Tyler Breeze came out, I let everything go and I blasted the TV because I love that entrance. Um,
you. Who doesn't?
yeah.
Is it the
So
way I walk? Is it
mm,
the way I look?
yeah. As soon as he came out, Raleigh was, he was, going to the opposite direction, and he accidentally touched Breeze, and
What?
Breeze grabbed him and threw him right, into the post and beat the shit out of him.
I would have
And
done the same thing. You don't touch Tyler Breeze.
that's what I wrote in my notes. You don't touch Tyler.
There's been some angry Tyler male fans that just beat up Mojo.
Yeah, and the fans were chanting "Thank you, Tyler." It was just so awesome.
Yes, thank you,
Uh,
Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. I didn't see it, but thank you, Tyler.
it was amazing, man. And Raleigh was like this. He's trying to be that sympathetic babyface, but nobody's giving him any sympathy. It's just so, so funny.
Okay.
Um, so after,
Wait, before we go on, Ed, I just hope, please don't do this, Tyler. Please don't enter him a feud with Mojo unless it's just a basic squash match. You should
yeah,
just hit the beauty shot over.
absolutely, I totally agree. As soon as Raleigh comes in, I don't say boom right in the face. You know?
We stay.
Yeah,
It is over.
yeah. So after that, we have a Baron Corbin video package, and it was very well done. It was like Sin City type of uh, video package where everything is black and white except for his attire. There was like a little bit of blue that was just coming out of the screen, but everything else was black and white. Um,
Okay,
and
I see
his
what you're saying. You actually gave a great visual.
Yeah, and he was on a motorcycle, and he was like, "You don't know who I am, but you're gonna know who I am soon enough."
You know what
And
this reminds me of? The old Edge prom vignettes.
oh yeah, the one
Just
where
the
he's
way you
running in the
described it,
train.
it reminds me of Edge having
Yeah.
the woman talk in the background. He's just wandering around New York.
hmm But Edge was like silent for that time, But here, Baron was talking, which I thought was like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You
That's what
should
I'm
have
thinking too. Like we should make him like not an Edge ripoff, but maybe similar the way they built his character.
you
Just
can
silent.
yeah, you can combine Edge, you can combine him with Goldberg, in a sense of having a mystique and an aura and being like a man with, few to no words.
Enigma.
Yeah, absolutely. Let his, in-ring work do the talking. Um, and you can have, while he's doing the vignette, looking all menacing, you can have somebody narrate, you know,
I like
where,
that idea.
yeah, and then, maybe once he comes in, Somebody narrates like before he does his entrance, and it's like Baron Corbin. And then his music starts, and then he comes out. You know, maybe he could come out with a motorcycle, but people are gonna make the comparison to him and Undertaker,
Yeah, I don't
which
think we should give him like a motorcycle just yet.
yeah. But I think he's the type of guy that I think enough time has passed since the American Badass gimmick, which is the reason why it didn't work well for Chuck Palumbo, you know. So yeah, you will remember my name, and everybody just doesn't know who he is. You know?
Oh God, poor Chuck.
Oh man, yeah. Still, I just feel so sorry for him because I was a big fan of Chuck Palumbo.
I was a big
You know,
fan of this super kick.
absolutely, yeah, and he had the best punch that you would ever see.
Oh yes, the best work punch ever. That right hook.
Absolutely. Oh man, yeah. The way he connects, and it just you hear that smack, and it just just amazing that nobody got their jaw fractured. Yeah. Um. So yeah, the video package was good, but I'm glad that they gave him some sort of character at least. He still got that aura going on for Baron, and I do see millions of dollars just screaming out
Yes.
millions of dollars, you
Millions
know?
of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
So
like a dark character. He reminds me of something like from like something a mystical monster. He reminds me of. I know this is gonna sound corny, but
yeah.
uh, a human form of a werewolf.
Oh yeah. Is it
He has
because of the lone
long
wolf?
hair, dark attire. He just reminds me of a monster.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't know if you agree with me. And here's a question for you, and maybe a question for everybody listening or
Okay.
whatever. Okay. Do you think that they should have some sort of um shield type of faction? Not, in a sense of like three guys, yeah, but that's where the comparison stops. Not have them all three guys, the same thing, but have them have like different characters. Because I heard that Hideo Itami and
David.
Prince, yeah, Devitt, his new name is
Finn,
uh,
Finn,
Baron Finn.
Baron Finn, yes.
Yeah,
Finn
so
Baron.
Finn
Go ahead.
Baron, yeah, something like that. So what if they have Hideo Baron and Baron Corbin in the same team? And you can have like Devitt be like the out of whack guy, be the guy with the face paint and all that, the guy with the war paint, and Kenta be like the high flyer, the guy who's balls to the wall, and Baron Corbin can be the silent killer, you
Hmm.
know. It'd be like the hired gun, can be like the Roman Reigns spot, but I think
Ooh,
Baron can be like way better than Roman
oh
though.
my God! Please, Ed.
Yeah.
After we're done with this podcast, I need you to post that in e-click because we can discuss that even further. That is such a good idea, man. You've been on a roll.
Yeah. I really think that would be I don't think even people would make the comparison to the Shield. I think it would be to the point where people are going to be like, this team is awesome, and I would love for them to clash with the Shield. You know,
Maybe
and
2 years from now,
yeah,
you might see them at like a WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber.
yeah, or even Survivor Series. They can do that. Um, and they can have like the first meeting where this new team beats the Shield, and then at WrestleMania the Shield gets their win back. You know, and
Yeah.
like they can have like a one night only Shield reunion. Something like that. But yeah, I would love to see something like that. And all three guys can be silent. That's the most amazing thing. Let their mannerisms do the talking. You know. Um, so yeah, after that we got Tyler Breeze against Justin Gabriel for all people. Of all people, Justin Gabriel, who should be like a heel. I don't
Only
get
thing
it.
I can say about Justin Gabriel is I like his attire.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. But this match was spectacular. You got to see this match to believe what I'm saying. Well, whatever I'm gonna say, it's not gonna do this match justice, because
Try your best.
Gabriel shined here. Tyler Breeze was great here. His mannerisms and Gabriel's move set that he was doing was just amazing. The fans were so into it. It was a great match. I would love, I don't know, maybe they're going for a Breeze face turn, later on, which I don't know if that should be it. Um, it would be funny though. It would be kind of a different. I don't know. It just seems interesting for me. I don't know. I would love to see what they would do with it. Because after all, it is NXT. It's not like on the main roster. Um, so yeah, I would love to see something like that because the fans are into him already. Um, yeah, great match. Like I said, Breeze hit. Like Gabriel was running towards Breeze, and Breeze hit him with a super kick, and right away the beauty shot. You
Mm,
know, like
combo.
yeah, like a combo, like he hit him with a super kick, and I think it was called the Botox injection or something like that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
You know what just
and
came to my mind.
something like that. I don't know what it was called, the beauty injection, something like that. And
You
then
know what
after
really
that,
came into my mind.
yeah, what
Yeah.
was it?
I don't want to think about her.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You get yes, yes.
Yeah, I kind of get what
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah. So right after that, he hit the beauty shot, and it was just amazing combo, and hit the 1, 2, 3. Justin Gabriel looked like he belonged in the ring with Breeze, and yeah, I would love for Gabriel to be in Kid's spot because I really think that Gabriel is a better wrestler. Um, I think Kid can be a better wrestler, but he's just too methodical, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
he has a whole lot of rest holds in his.
yeah.
We said it last time. Remember when they did the showcase on Raw? He had too many rest holds in such a short match.
Mhm. It was just a 4-minute match, and he was doing a lot of rest holds. I don't get it. Um, so speaking of Kid, after this, Natalia is backstage trying to persuade Regal for another NXT title match for Kid. Good God, I'm getting sick and tired of seeing Kid versus Adrian Neville.
No wonder they chant Natty's husband.
Yeah,
Like his
man,
freaking mother.
yeah, exactly.
Like, can my son needs to improve in his schoolwork. He's gonna do whatever it takes. Just give him
Yeah,
one more chance.
yeah. I want
Mr. Regal, like, oh, fine, bloody hell.
yeah, give him another redo on the exam. I know he can do better. Um, so Regal agrees to another title match for Kid, and it's his final shot. And he's like, Kid is not going to get another title shot if he loses against Adrian Neville, as long as Adrian Neville is champion. And I'm
God,
like, no.
I don't like the way this is going. I don't like the sound of where this is going.
Yeah, so it really, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to hold off Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville for like maybe the next pay-per-view or free preview for NXT. That's going
Yep.
to happen, I think, in December. I heard that it was going to happen then. Yeah,
Yep.
I just hope that they're not going to call it Takeover 3, you know? So, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see that again. Why not give it to Breeze? Why not have Breeze versus Adrian Neville? They had an amazing match a few weeks ago, you know? So, after this, we have Bailey against, of all people, Alexa Bliss.
Mm. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
saw a bit of this. Like Alessa was showing her. She looked
yeah,
like a high school girl trying out to get on the cheerleader squad with all
yeah,
the acrobatic moves.
yeah. And you know what? Of all people who, people think that are adorable in the Divas division, Alexa Bliss is the most adorable one, you
Yes.
know? And
She's
she's,
like
I don't know.
4'11", shorter than A-Jade.
Yeah, yeah, I was just about to say that. Like 4'1", 4'5". I think she's like she can stand, head to head, toe to toe with the Hornswoggle. You know. and yeah, she's amazing in the ring. She's probably my favorite diva right now.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and this match was very very short. It had a lot of potential, but they didn't gel well. Alexa Bliss really needs to iron out a few of her spots because some of the spots that she's doing she cannot really do it very crisply. But I think she's getting better. She's definitely getting better. I hope that she gets showcased even more. Um, I'm glad they didn't have another Bailey versus Sasha Banks match. Um, and yeah, Bailey won with the belly to belly, and I don't like that move. I don't like that move as a finisher because she
Me
doesn't.
either, and I'm a big Bailey fan.
Yeah, it would be cool if it's like a signature move, like for the finisher,
Yeah,
something leading up to the finisher. But this didn't seem impressive.
I'll give Bailey
Um,
like a submission.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Um,
Maybe not a crossface, not a crossface. Maybe
maybe do like a
arm triangle.
a bear hug with like a scissors, you know?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like
Yeah,
what Orton used to do back in the day.
yeah, she can do that, from behind, and I don't think anybody can get away from that, you know? So she can do that, and I
Kind of
think
like a
yeah,
Taz. Or she could use the Taz mission with the body scissors.
absolutely, yeah, another great move. Um, and yeah, very submission heavy on the Divas division now. A lot of people, now are doing submission. Naomi, AJ, Paige, what's her name? Emma,
Oh
and
yeah, Ed. I learned Niobe got that move from Japanese Japanese woman wrestler. I forgot her name, but Niobe got that submission from her.
yeah, I heard it. I think her name is Nakomi, no Nokami, something like that.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't know.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I didn't know she was a fan of Japanese wrestling, but then the thought came to my head like Summerdale Ray probably showed that video to her
Yeah, I do think that. Yeah,
since she's the
and
trainer.
yeah, she's in the NXT Performance Center. Um, Yeah, after this match, Bailey called out Charlotte, and Charlotte came out and basically Bailey said, "I want another match against you, and I know that I can take that title away from you." And Charlotte says, "You've got nothing to prove because you earned my respect, but I will still agree, and it would be an honor to get in the ring with you one more time next week, kid."
And she said
And
something about we may do it different, but the verse will be the same.
yeah, it
She
will
kept
be
it heel. She kept it a
yeah.
little.
It will still be a different song and dance, but it will yeah the verse is gonna stay the same. And she'd be like, for you, I think she said, to be the woman, you gotta beat the woman or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she
She,
said that before the original paper before the last pay per view on the pre.
yeah. hmm And
Yeah, she
Charlotte
loves
is yeah, and Charlotte is freaking amazing, man. She's definitely one of the better champions in the entire WWE roster.
and one of the
Um,
best athletes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to see her in on Raw, or even if they're gonna bring in more divas, I would love to see her maybe tag with Alexa Bliss,
Mm.
you know, or even have a match with her because they're both very very athletic.
We gotta wait
And
until Kevin Dunn passes away.
oh yeah, man, I would love to see it. I would never be asking for somebody's death or something like
No,
that.
no, no, no. I'm not saying that, guys.
Yeah,
Just it's just a joke, as Kevin Dunn, we all know, is kind of a pig.
yeah, definitely. Um, let's see. After this, oh man, Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy,
God,
and
you know
and
I love
Carmel.
him.
Yeah, and Carmel is a freaking amazing addition to to the twosome that is
She's
casting in
the
the ring.
valet.
Yeah, she she came in and she was like, oh, she told the security guard that she's Enzo's sister, and it was so funny. And then he was like, and Carmelo said, I want to come here and I want to fight. I came here to fight and make money. And then Enzo was like, well, the problem is you're not hot. You're hairdresser hot. You're not model hot.
Oh,
And
Enzo. Go
and
ahead.
and Colin was like, "Yeah, how you doing?" And then Carmela took off her, she took off her shirt and she was wearing like this, what you call this, the gymnastics support, and she had yoga pants on. And then as she was stretching, and Colin was like, "Now that's a hot tamale," and Enzo was like on the treadmill, and he's like, "Yeah, you're all right." And she's like, Carmel's like, "Yeah, I told you I'm good enough." And then as she was stretching, Enzo slipped off of the treadmill and fell on his ass, and it was just so funny. I just died laughing when I saw
Nah,
this.
sorry, Ed. I'm sorry, man. I'm just thinking about.
Go for it, man. Like,
I'm
have you
sorry,
seen?
man. But we said this before, and we're gonna just run it into the ground. Enzo has one of those personalities where if you're not a fan of this sport, you're
Yeah,
gonna watch just to see him.
absolutely, man. Enzo's like definitely one of the better acts in the entire wrestling business.
In the
Um,
entire, yes.
yeah, like I still don't know where WWE got him from. I don't know where he was before this. Um, Even Colin Cassidy, he's another guy, who's just, very talented, for a guy his size, and he's large and still very fit, and it's just so hard to see somebody like that in the wrestling
Like Kevin
business.
Nash, it reminds me a little bit of Nash or Lance
Yeah,
Storm.
but less juice, you know.
Yeah, let's use. Well, towards
Yeah.
the
Mhm. But they're both very, very talented. Um,
end.
I still don't know where they got them from. I
I just
really
hope
want to.
they have plans for them down the line.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna be huge acts when they get into the main roster.
And
I
they're gonna
still
bring fans back to the sport.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know what, Enzo, to me, I still don't see that much of him in the ring.
I
Um,
don't blame you.
yeah, and this would go into the next match, and it's gonna be Marcus Louis being accompanied by Sylvester Lefort
Without him,
against against Enzo Amore, accompanied by Colin Cassidy. Um, and this match, very shitty match. They didn't have that chemistry going on. Enzo is at the point where he's being like typical babyface, where he gets beat up in most of the match, and the end he has his comeback and wins. And he does,
oh,
yeah, and he doesn't even have a finisher. He just rolls the guy up and wins.
come again?
Yeah, he doesn't have a finisher. I don't know what Enzo's finisher is.
Okay, okay. Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah. So his wins lately has been just roll ups, you know? Um and yeah, the match was shitty, but the pre-match stuff was amazing. And and he was like, what was he saying? Oh man, Colin
Bada
Cassidy.
bing, bada boom. The realest guys in the room.
No, yeah, they did that shtick
How
again, but
you doing?
yeah, but Colin said something about Marcos Louis' haircut, and he was saying that I don't know, something along the lines where you're pretty shiny there. You kind of look like a cue ball, and Enzo Amore was like, "How you doing?" And Colin Cassidy was like, a um a fortune teller, "How you doing?" A light bulb, "How you doing?" Stuff like that.
Okay,
It's
I
just
get it. I get the visual.
yeah, he's so funny, and it's just like I'm gonna expose you for what you are because that haircut you got is SAWFT, soft. It's just so funny. Um, Still the best, the best. They've got the best characters in the entire roster. Man, I love these guys. Um, then after that, Tyson Kidd is backstage and he's talking about Neville, and he's saying that while Neville was champion, he only got 2 losses, and you're looking at the guy that beat him. Fact. And I'm gonna beat him, the next time we face off. I don't need my wife to ask for permission for me to get a title match because I deserve to be in that picture no matter what. Fact. And I'm gonna beat Neville the next time we face. Fact. And I'm gonna take the title. Fact. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay, man, we know you lack promo skills. I
Yeah.
finally, it's either, I know where you got that from. It's either
Yeah.
Christian Cage from a long time ago or Batista from earlier this year when he was addressing the SmackDown audience when he
Mm,
was about to turn heel because he was saying fact a lot in that
yeah.
promo.
And I think it's just that he said that, but it was an accidental thing because the fans were into it. Because I think for like a month after he did that promo against Adrian Neville, where he said, "Fact, I'm like the best guy here" or whatever. Um, for like a month, he didn't say that, and the fans were chanting "Fact." So this became a meme
Oh yeah, I
until
remember.
yeah, until afterwards he was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna implement it into my character," which I thought was a smart move for him.
It
To
was.
yeah, to get something that the fans are into. So after that we have the main event, which is the Lucha Dragons against the Ascension, and the the match was actually better than their match in Takeover because it got longer time, and it was going on really well. Like they got to the end, but the problem is they don't have that chemistry. I think the Ascension need a hard hitting tag team for them to have a great match. Um, it's pretty tough to keep yourself strong when you're a monster tag team against guys that you're trying to put over as the next tag team champions.
Yep,
Um,
and don't worry, they're gonna get strong competition, strong style.
mhm. And I really can't wait when they get to the main roster.
Me too.
Um, yeah, and after this we have they got distracted by Hideo Itami, which got Kalisto to hit the Serra del Sol on I don't know what's it called, the Serra del Sol or Sierra del Sol or something like that.
Is
He
I don't know either. Go ahead.
Yeah, he hit it on Victor for the win, and it was cool that Hideo distracted the Ascension and get them let them lose the rematch, but I was like, okay, that's cool. I like this. This makes a lot of sense. But then Connor went, head, right away to Hideo and got his ass whooped. He looked, like a jobber when he got to Hideo.
Well,
I get it.
well,
Yeah,
but
I
not to cut you off, Ed, but come on,
all right.
can you blame him? Who wouldn't look like a jobber going against
The
But
strong style. Okay,
well,
semi-strong style. WWE version of a strong style.
yeah. But I get it if it's Victor. Victor is like the smaller guy, but Connor's freaking huge. You know,
Oh, you said Connor. I thought you meant Victor. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Connor, then I get it. He gets a misstep and then Hideo beats the shit out of him. But Connor has been like the most over guy of the tag team. He's the more over guy, and the fans are so into him that I think that maybe down the line they can maybe turn them face because of Connor. Um, and he's got that huge guy. Um, and Hideo just beat the shit out of him like a jobber. I really
You know
don't
what?
agree with
Victor's
that.
like the Kazarian of the team.
Yeah,
What I
I
mean by that, people, is like no disrespect to Kaz because I am a fan of him, but
hmm
he's like the one of the team who's taking like the pinfalls.
yeah, the scrub of the two. Maybe.
Yep.
So yeah, so that was NXT. It was a good show. Yeah, I think it was a good show. Could have been better. But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to still build up storylines. So definitely looking forward to next week. Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
Um.
So, only thing I saw from main. Oh, we can talk about main event a little bit.
All right.
I just
Main event
want.
was great. Yeah.
I just want to talk about one thing and one thing only. If you don't want to do the whole thing,
Mhm.
the Dean Ambrose interview with The Miz.
Oh yeah. Definitely the best Miz TV segment I've ever seen.
Yes. Basically, you have The Miz coming out to interview, getting Dean Ambrose on Miz TV to do an interview,
Mhm.
and Miz is just in Ambrose's face throughout this whole interview, just
Yeah.
yelling at him, screaming like you're a lunatic. And before we even get to that part, we have him asking Dean Ambrose how to escape. Dynamite, jackhammer, do
Mhm.
you dig a tunnel? And you have Dean Ambrose just casually answered, nope, it was just the back door.
Mhm.
And Miz is like, what? There was a back door. You know,
Yeah.
the authority isn't that smart. They locked me in a room with two doors.
Mhm.
And Miz goes nuts. He goes nuts right here. Not Mel Gibson, though. He goes pretty nuts and just gets in Ambrose's face, start yelling at him.
Well, before that, Dean Ambrose was like, I'm sorry, to disappoint you or whatever, but I'm not freaking Houdini, you know?
Oh yeah, he did say that. I'm not freaking Houdini. I didn't
Yeah.
like no hocus. But anyway, yeah, back to Miz got in Dean Ambrose's face.
Yeah.
Ambrose just pushes Miz aside, then attacks Miz now. Goes back to the Miz, plants him with dirty deeds, and this is funny.
Mhm.
Ambrose picks him up, puts him in Miz TV set chair.
Mhm.
He leans him forward, got his arms folded, and he puts the Miz's shades on and the microphone in one of his arms.
Mhm.
And he yells. He doesn't try to do the whole ventriloquist thing, which I thought would have been funnier. He just said, Ed, take this because I forgot what he said at the end.
Mhm. I think he said something along the lines of, um, thank you for having me on your show or something like that.
Yes, what was your thoughts on this segment? I just thought it was great.
It was hilarious in itself, okay? But what even got it into a to 11, because the segment was just a 10 out of 10. But what got it even higher was freaking Mizdow or Damian Sandow. He was just, he was doing the same thing that Miz was doing
Oh yeah,
throughout the thing.
the
It's just
copy of
so
Miz.
funny. Yeah. I was thinking like maybe they were gonna have like some sort of have Mizdow be like some sort of deaf interpreter, the guy who would interpret things for like deaf people. But
Just have
it's just
Miz whisper in his ear his thoughts.
yeah.
He would say them out loud.
hmm And it's just so funny the way that Damien Sandow is doing it. And man, I hope that this character goes on to when like Miz, gets tired of Mizdow and then just fires him, and then Mizdow becomes like a stunt double for somebody else, and he's doing the same thing for somebody else. He's doing the same moves that the guy is doing, you know? Like I can see him like being maybe like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a guy that would be cool to mimic. Um, maybe Fandango or something like that. I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah. So it would be cool, or maybe turn him face and have him be stunt double for Dolph Ziggler. You know?
Oh
Yeah.
man, we just go full circle after that.
Yeah. It would be very funny. Or when you turn Sheamus heel, you can have Sandow as his stunt double, and come out with a red hair wig, and
Voila!
yeah, and then he can spray paint his beard red, and then he's doing the same thing as Sheamus is doing, so that when Sheamus is like the coward, he can like push Sandow into harm's way, you know. So that guy would get beaten up just to progress a feud. So I think yeah, there's a lot of potential for this character, you know.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, because up to this point, Sandow is a joke, so might as well just make people laugh with this joke, you know.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
Uh, SmackDown, because I did not watch Superstars.
Okay. Superstars was great as well. There were two great matches on the show. Um,
Niobe and
Alicia Fox, yeah. It was an awesome match, man. It was like it went on for like 5 minutes, 5 or 7 minutes, but it was
I like
amazing
that
for the
Alicia still has her character.
yeah. Alicia Fox still has her crazy character. She still has the
It's
she's
like
she's
the
yeah
let me say this before I get back to you. It's like the Christian Cage character Christian had when he was feuding with DDP and he would just throw these
yeah
10 champions.
yeah. I remember that, yeah. It just yeah, it's so funny. Not maybe not as funny as Christian when he was doing it, but this was still funny. This was very funny. And Naomi here really shined. If people think that Naomi, we didn't see much of Naomi. She's yet to impress me. Watch her in Superstars and Main Event. She's really shining there. In this match, this was no different. She was, doing moves that were so crazy. Like Alicia Fox was on the top rope. She was about to jump, do like some sort of move on Naomi. And while she was about to get up, she was in like, she was doing the splits on the top rope basically. And Naomi jumped up really high and give her an enziguri,
Oh,
and just and dropped her. Yeah.
Del Rio style. That sounds like something Del Rio would do.
Yeah, but it was even crazier than the way that Del Rio does it. Because Del Rio steps up, from the second rope to the top, but Naomi right away went to the top, like jumped really high, you know. She is the Shelton Benjamin of the Divas division, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh,
Yeah,
the only problem with Naomi, she has to get off Total Divas as immediately as possible.
I don't know, maybe,
She
because
lost her
I think
quickly, yes.
because in Total Divas she can actually work on her mic skills and her character, you know. While at the same time, she can, have these kick-ass matches on Superstars and Main Event. Because I still think that she needs to have a character. She needs to break away from the Funkadactyls, you know? She still has the theme song. She still does the same moves and stuff like that. The same dance moves. I still think, yeah, I think she needs to have a character.
Yeah, oh yeah, knows that when the tag team breaks up, the heels get the whole new image, and the babyface still has shades of their old gimmick.
Hmm. Yeah. So, I think Cameron is a better character just because she has a character. I hate to say that, because I really don't like Cameron. But Naomi,
I agree, and I don't like her either.
yeah, but Naomi, she has
Her
no character.
character is new.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's Naomi's gimmick besides the booty? You know?
It's basically the Funkadactyls.
Yeah. So, yeah, and the thing is, she's using it as a comedy thing, She's using her booty as a comedy thing. In the corner when she reverses somebody running up to her, she, shakes her booty right on the person's face and
Yeah,
then pushes them away. I just really hope that Naomi really becomes a more serious
serious.
character. Yeah, you know. So after that, there was like an amazing interview with Ziggler from the app after his IC title win.
The
And I'm
only
like,
time they let him cut his own promos. Go ahead.
yeah, and I'm like, oh man, why isn't Ziggler cutting these types of promos? Um,
He got. We were talking about this before you came in, like how this new generation got the handcuffs on.
right,
Like
and
it's
you know,
sorry.
and,
Go ahead.
and you know what? I really think that I kind of get it because you look at Ziggler, he's the show off. He's the guy that is, kind of better than you. He says like I'm better than you basically when he gets in the ring. I'm the guy that steals the show and stuff like that. But in the app, his interviews is like a wrestling fan, like a guy that is an underdog, like a guy that is, doing it for the fans. It really doesn't make any sense. So I say have him dye his hair, or have him change his trunks, have him like let him have some different catchphrase, let him be somebody different, where if you want him to be the underdog, then let him be the underdog, but let him break away from the show off,
He's
because
been doing it a little bit after bit, but they pull him back into it.
yeah, because you can't have it both ways, You can't have a baby face that's a show off, Which I really can understand why some people aren't into him whenever he talks on the mic, you know? Because it's like, oh,
Oh my God, it's just contradictory.
yeah, because it's like he's talking down on me. Why should I, care about his segments, you know? So, yeah, we had that, and there was an amazing video package for the roster reveal that's going to happen after SmackDown for the WWE 2K15, and Breeze's music was in the background. I'm, I'm,
Yes.
I'm like, holy shit, man, this is fucking awesome. Definitely the best way to do the roster reveal. Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, it didn't have the words, but the instrumental was there. Just so amazing. Um, so I'm definitely looking forward to
Oh
him.
yeah, and one more thing they revealed yesterday, Corey Graves will be on the
Mhm.
NXT roster for 2K15.
Yeah, yeah, I heard about that. Definitely looking forward to the video game. Um, Justin Gabriel also had another amazing match with Kofi Kingston, and weird, the fans were chanting USA.
They're both from. Never mind. Never,
I don't get it.
never
Yeah,
mind. I just oh my God, I just got a face plant.
uh, I'm like, where
Face
the
palm,
fuck are
face
they
palm.
in? Yeah, I'm like, where the fuck are they at?
It's like it reminds me of this one time. It was back in 2004
Yeah.
where Jericho
Mhm.
teamed with, I believe, Edge,
Mhm.
Jerry, William Regal, and we can't say his name, CB,
Okay.
Crispin
Mhm.
against La Resistance in Evolution. And the fans were chanting USA, USA at Rhino. And King on commentary was like, why are these fans chanting USA? Where is Chris Benoit from? Where's Tajiri from?
Yeah.
William Regal from?
Yeah. And I remember also there was a match between I think it was yeah, William Regal and Tajiri versus La Resistance, and I think Bad Blood or on Raw. And the fans were chanting USA for like 5 seconds, and then they stopped. And I think they realized like, holy shit, nobody's American here, you
Yeah,
know?
like, come on, guys, you are supposedly smarks.
And Lawler was like calling them on it. I think we're in the in Bizarre World again, and Jim Ross. Oh man, this is the worst comeback Jim Ross ever made, and I hate saying that about JR.
Wait a minute, I'm a big Jim Ross fan too, but I remember WrestleMania 23 when that fan ran in. He tried to play it off like, yeah, Michael's playing, trying to get in Cena's head.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
was
they
like, okay.
cut away like really quick. Yeah,
I was like, Jim, we just saw him.
yeah,
It was a brief second, but we saw him.
yeah. The guy got in the ring, took off his shirt, and then they cut away.
But I gotta admit, I'll give JR credit. He kept his cool.
Yeah, but in this one, the one I'm talking about, the one with Regal and Tajiri versus La Resistance,
Yep.
man, the worst JR comeback I've ever heard. Even worse than most of Cole's comebacks. And what he said was, well, he might not be American, but his heart beats America. I mean, like, what the fuck is he saying? So yeah,
Mm.
really worst comeback that I've ever heard. Um, yeah, but this this match was it had a lot of potential. I'll give it that. It was good.
You know what?
Um,
Yeah, it was good. You know what I was thinking watching this? Where is Big E and Xavier?
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But I still think that they're still doing it in the house shows because I heard that they were doing that. But they're still trying to, make it as much of a good faction as they can. They don't want to bring it up and people would be shitting on it, you know? Because the way that they started it off was kind of iffy because it wasn't in a way that anybody turned heel. Because I think that creative really doesn't know whether or not to turn Kofi heel. Because a lot of people like Kofi. You know, so
And plus the controversy with the Ferguson thing.
yeah,
They're really afraid to go there at this moment until that has cooled down.
absolutely, yeah. So it's really tough for them to do something like that because whenever they try to do it, something comes up like SummerSlam or there's another feud going on or they have nothing for them or there's a scandal going on. It's just so hard, you know. But
Wait,
these
wait, wait,
two,
wait. Before we just get this,
uh,
did you
okay.
see the name they were given by? I suppose this sounds like Xavier Woods,
Mhm.
athletic super friends or something like that. Athletic smart friends.
Oh, okay.
I just saw that in like a forum and
Mhm.
it just hit my mind like, yeah, that must be Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, please don't let that be the actual name.
Mhm.
I
Might
think
as well. Might as well just call them the Mighty Morphin Black Rangers.
it
You
sound
know.
that's what I said. It sounded like a corny cartoon that you would just turn on Saturday morning to watch.
Yeah, and I get it that Xavier Woods
Trolling.
is yeah, he's sort of a kid at heart, you know. So I kind of see that, and the thing is, why not just call it something like um the something like I don't know I was thinking something that you can combine, high flying with powerhouse, something like that,
I don't
you
know,
know.
like the flying. Never mind. The flying rhinos. Not
Maybe.
good, but it sounds better than the athletic smart friends.
Yeah, definitely. You know, or they can be like, you know, um, I was even thinking this when I was watching this match. I was like, they can add Justin Gabriel to the group just so that it cannot be like a, you know, anti-racist group. You know, they can because you already got Rusev. You don't need that many people, against America. So you can add in Justin Gabriel to the group, and you can have Kofi and Gabriel as a tag team. Because I've been saying this for the longest time. These two need to be in a tag team. I came up with the name for them, the African Aviation.
Mmm.
You
Hey,
know, yeah, the double A or something like that. AA, yeah. And both of them, I think can be like the second coming of, Paul London and Brian Kendrick or the Motor City Machine Guns or something like that. Because both guys are really great wrestlers, and here, man, I would love to see more of them, facing off against each other and then earning each other's respect, and then would lead to them teaming up together. Because in this match, it had a lot of potential. There was a little minute botches, not that much to be like, oh, that's a botch, you know. But
thank
they
God the fans today are just disrespectful with it.
yeah, and they were just planning crowd noises because they do that in taped shows. So I think that maybe fans were like, you fucked up or something like that, but
Yes,
they
I
added
heard
crowd
that
noise.
before. I hate it when WWE does that.
Yeah, and the match was great, like I said, and holy shit, the ending. Justin Gabriel was going for like a flying crossbody, and Kofi caught him with the Trouble in Paradise in midair.
Yes,
Oh my god!
that was awesome.
That was awesome, man. I love that ending, and I'm like, these two need to have another match on Raw, or SmackDown, whatever. But I would love to see them, face off against each other even more. So
We
yeah.
skipped over one match, man.
Mhm.
Miz and Ambrose.
Yeah. Well, that was on SmackDown.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're talking about superstars. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, Superstars was great. SmackDown was better than most weeks. Um, the Miz versus Dean Ambrose was great.
Yeah,
The
I actually
Dust.
like this match because of the psychology. Miz is that veteran, and people don't give Miz a lot of credit for his in-ring ability.
Mhm.
And it was just interesting to see him work with someone with the mannerisms of Ambrose.
Mhm. And the way he hit Dirty Deeds was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and oh man, this is like the worst I've heard JBL commentate.
What is it?
Um,
I forgot. Tell me.
I mean Cole said that Miz, no, is it like Dean Ambrose is kind of like no something he talked about Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know how he brought Jimmy
Oh,
Kimmel was implemented.
Jimmy Kimmel doesn't invite people on his show just to scream in their face.
Yeah, something about that. Yeah, he said like that, and then he's like Jimmy Kimmel is he's a polite person, and Jimmy's like, well, he's not that polite, and Cole's like, hey, he's a friend to the WWE, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you had
Man, I'm like, JBL got punked out, man.
it's not the first time. He's been burned by Cole a lot.
Oh yeah, especially on SmackDown, not that much on Raw, but definitely so much on SmackDown. And this is the moments where I'm like I'm turning into like Ice Cube and Chris Tucker from Friday. Damn, you know?
Yes. The only part is that Vince is still in their ears, though. But
Oh
I
yeah.
that was just Cole saying that.
Mhm. It really felt like Vince was having an off day here. It was like, okay, do whatever you want. It's just SmackDown, and because
Oh, no,
Cole
no,
was
no.
really on
He's
his
there
game.
at the end. Remember, we're gonna get into this later, but the Divas match. Remember that we're gonna get into that. But
All
that's
right.
it, because I'm gonna
Okay.
rant about this.
Okay. I'm just gonna talk about the key stuff that was going on the show. The Dust Brothers in a title match. That was a great match. Ended in a DQ. I understand because they want to continue the storyline. Maybe
Yeah,
on Raw they're gonna have a rematch.
aggressive, but they don't want to turn them heel.
Oh yeah. It was a great match though, man. It was. I think it was better than their Night of Champions match. You know. And
I can't fully agree, but I can see where you say that.
yeah, but it ended in a DQ. That was like the only thing that made it, lose a few points against the United Champions match, you know.
Right.
But I understand that they're trying to continue the storyline, and it's still a fresh match, and I still want to see more of these guys facing off against each other, you know.
Right.
And I do definitely see the Usos winning the tag titles somewhere down the line because I don't think the Dust Brothers are going to be holding the tag titles for long, you
And
know.
Cody, I love Bill Dust, no disrespect to him, but I hope Cody's just a late bloomer in the fact that he's gonna be in the main event scene, but it's just gonna take a little longer, sort of
Yeah.
like Edge.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Same thing. You look at Seth Rollins. Same thing. He has great matches, but his segments, it's kind of like Edge when he started. He was kind of iffy. That's the reason why he was silent for the better part of his early
Heel.
days. Yeah, and that's why they put him with Christian. You know, because he was still trying to iron out that character. You know. Um,
But I
but
always
yeah,
thought that Edge was a better talker than Christian.
definitely. Yeah. Uh,
And when I look
yeah.
at it, charts and compare it to Christian
You,
wasn't bad, but Edge was just better.
I think that
I look at the
Edge.
chart, and what I say by chart is like all around, not just wrestling ability.
Well,
Christian,
I think that the thing is though that Edge was a better serious talker and a guy with a lot of intensity, while Christian was funnier.
Yeah, Christian was like the guy. He tried to convince himself more than he was trying to convince you.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
Yeah.
Edge, he knew he was good on the mic. He had the confidence.
Yeah, because Christian, when he's funny, you can tell that he's being himself. But when he's trying to act serious, especially with that voice, he's like, I'm always doing this for the peeps everywhere, and it's just like, it feels forced.
Yeah. Is
But
that story?
yeah,
This.
but with Edge, you can see him shake when he's, being intense.
Yes,
I
I
still,
remember one of my favorite promos. It was
mhm,
back 2005. He was feuding
mhm,
with Matt Hardy. This was after the SummerSlam fight.
yeah,
Todd, what's his name? Used to be
Todd
an
Grisham,
Todd Grisham.
okay,
He went to interview Edge with Alter Bridge was there,
mhm,
and Todd Grisham asked him, "What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do to Matt Hardy?" He said he will
mhm,
never die, and Edge grabbed Todd so tightly, and you just heard Edge say one of the best lines ever. Only reason
mhm,
why Matt Hardy won't die is
mhm.
because I left breath in his body.
Oh man.
I was like, God.
Hmm.
He
And
didn't want to be cool when he was a heel, but he just did. He couldn't help himself.
and even remember that via satellite segment with Lita when he was with Lita, and he was talking about Matt Hardy and talking about how the fans were just just getting butting into his personal life, and he's like shaking. He's almost in tears. You can see him like being so passionate, and it's just
He was guilt. There was guilt in him at that time. Like he was upset at himself too.
he was kind of, yeah, but at the same time you can tell what he
But
was
he had
saying
to
was the
be
truth.
here.
Yeah, and he was kind of in the saying the truth that it's something personal that happens in people's lives, and Matt Hardy wants to air out our dirty laundry, and I may be you look at my hands, and look at my eyes, I know I'm getting emotional right now, but this is as true as it can get, and I'm like, dude, this guy is money.
I remember, like he wasn't trying to hurt Matt. He was only defending himself at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But he had to. Well, when you defend yourself against a crazy person like Matt, you gotta take
Mhm.
him out.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
And
anyway, let's get back to SmackDown.
all right, back to SmackDown. Let's see what else happened.
Bruce, I believe. No, that's the main event. That's the main event.
All right, I'm the main event as well, Rusev and Big Show. I'm gonna touch upon that
Paige,
real quick.
I mean Paige. Paige.
Um, Hold on. What else happened?
Oh no, it was Natalia and Rosa Mendez versus.
Oh, but before that though, there was the battle royal for the number one contendership, the
Oh,
Intercontinental title.
oh man, this was some great stuff.
Man, this was like it wasn't hyped. It was just hyped on SmackDown. It wasn't hyped on Raw or Superstar or whatever. The match itself was good, but the ending was great. The way Cesaro picked up Kofi and threw him right away on Swagger, and both guys were eliminated. And I'm like, holy shit, Cesaro is fucking amazing, you
Yes,
know?
the way he overhead pressed Big E.
Yeah. Oh man,
Oh,
yeah.
he got
But
stronger.
yeah, what the hell is this guy eating? I want some of that.
Vintage. Popeye.
And the way he threw Big E, I can probably hear Big E's thoughts as he was falling to his doom. He was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah,
you
you gotta make Big E look weak though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
So,
thought it would be funny if Sandow won it and
oh
he
yeah.
got the Intercontinental Championship from Ziggler. Then he would feud with Miz. And
And he was telling Miz, look, I got the Intercontinental title back. And Miz is like, yeah, but what does it mean for me? And he's like, well, you can have my replica. I don't want it, you know. And
yeah.
just it would be very funny.
But Kofi
And
Kingston once it, oh my God, JBL owned, burned, buried, pissed on his ashes. Kofi.
yeah, He
He
killed him,
said
burned him,
Michael
cremated him.
Cole. Wait,
Yeah.
let me set it up. Michael Cole, and then you can be JBL. Michael Cole said something along the lines as Kofi Kingston is always amazing in these battle royals. And Ed JBL said,
Too bad he never won one.
I was like, oh, really? He said that?
Yeah.
And he's a Kofi mark. We've been over this. If you pay attention to Kofi matches, you can just hear JBL getting excited.
Yeah. That guy's fucking amazing, Michael. And then he was like,
Um,
I'm gonna give him my chair. I want to see what he's gonna do. You know?
Man, but he's exciting to watch.
Yeah.
But
And
just for him to say that, I was like, what?
I really hate the fact that JBL is so gray. I want him to be either fully black or fully white. You know, either be a full heel or full baby face. I do not want him to be like, oh, this guy, he has a lot of heart. I gotta admire that. Or a heel does something horrible and he'd be like, I don't really agree with that. That's just very despicable. You gotta come on. You've done way
There's
worse
sometimes
things
you
as a
can't
heel.
your face. Like remember when I hate bringing this up when Orton because it had no significance in their feud when Orton attacked Mr. John Cena Senior, Mr. John Cena's father. He was saying, "Oh man, Mr. Cena should be pressing charges."
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't know how any heel could like stand up for that. Not even he.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
with stuff like this, where sees a Kofi Kingston match and he gets excited, like man,
Mhm.
Kofi's amazing.
But yeah, and even going back to the first segment with Ambrose and Miz, where Ambrose stole the money in the bank, he was like, "Oh, he's a thief! Call the cops!" You know. I'm like, yeah, if people call cops on every little thing that happens on WWE, then this place would shut down. You know, because on Raw we had aggravated assault, grand theft, and assault and battery. We got kidnapping, holding somebody hostage, attempted murder. Um, what else? Even other things that I
Torture.
can't even remember. Yeah. So are you really gonna call the cops on everything that happens in WWE programming? Dude, either be realistic or not. I just you know I sometimes turn my brain off when stuff like that happens. So,
Next, what happened after this?
yeah, the Divas match happened after that, but I'm gonna let you rant after we wrap up SmackDown. So I'm just gonna talk about everything else that happened. There's a recap from Henry turning heel at main event, but it's still very interesting to me because it's the first time ever where somebody turns heel but his tag partner stays face and he's supporting his heel partner, you know. So it's very interesting. I'm really looking forward to what happens next. Um, Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler had an amazing match,
Yes.
but ended in a screwjob finish where Cesaro was holding to the ropes and Ziggler rolled him up, and the ref counted to 3. So I'm definitely looking forward to
I
matches
mean,
going on
before we move
later.
on, I don't. I know we're gonna go through this fast, but I can't
Yeah,
believe Mike Chioda. They let Mike Chioda in that spot because he's such a seasoned referee.
absolutely, yeah. Like
And
yeah, I mean, I get it from Charles Robinson because he's always the guy who was, implemented into storylines. But Mike Chioda never was in a storyline, you know?
this is his time for shine. Okay, I can see it like that.
hmm So, yeah, the match was great. I'm really looking forward to what happens next. It's too bad though that it's 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 happening while Ziggler is feuding with Miz, you know? Because they've got like two feuds going on at the same time, Miz and Ziggler. So I'm really wondering what they're gonna do next. I hope that it's gonna be Cesaro versus Ziggler at Hell in a Cell for the IC title. It would be spectacular, man. Give them time, and because the IC title is making a comeback. I'm really
Yes,
seeing it
yes.
right now.
Finally, after Miz won it,
Yeah,
people aren't going to
absolutely.
give Miz credit for that, but okay.
I would say it even farther from that. When as soon as Wade Barrett won it, it started to gain that prestige back. You know. So yeah, there you go with that. Let's see. What happened after that? Yeah, the Big Show match against Rusev. Um, it was actually better than expected.
Yes.
It was a very good big man match, and it's weird because Rusev has no chemistry with Henry, and Big Show has no chemistry with Bray Wyatt. But when you put Rusev and Big Show together, it's a good match. You
It
know?
made sense. Like,
Yeah.
he can Rusev is a big man, but he's no giant. Well, he is a giant, but not to the way Big Show is.
He is large, but not towering. You know?
No. Like,
Yeah. Well, I can kind of put him in. Rusev is kind of built, kind of like Mark Henry, you know, or like even Umaga in a sense of he is wide, not tall, you know. He's like built
okay.
like basically, kind of like what Spoonie said. He's like built like a square, you know. Kind of like.
He's a legit big man athlete. He's a legit athlete. You know how
Mhm.
WWE always says, "Oh, he's big and he's athletic." No, Rusev actually fits that.
Mhm. And like I said, Rusev is actually a good big man wrestler. It all depends on who he's wrestling against. And I think once he goes off on his own, that's when he's gonna shine. Because Lana's overshadowing him. She's like the person that's stealing
Oh,
all the heat from Rusev.
oh my God, I loved her expression. She actually showed a
Mhm.
variety. Finally, it was something different from Lana's character tonight.
Yeah.
I never
But
seen her in a panic. I
yeah.
see her always. If Rusev was hurt, she would just start screaming, "Get up, get up!" But this
Mhm.
time she was legit shocked and panicked.
Mhm.
It
And,
was
and it played well into the ending, where Lana she distracted Big Show after Big Show hit the choke slam on Rusev and he was about to go for the pinfall, and then Rusev got up and hit him with the Russian flag, and after that Rusev was going for, I think, going for the accolade, but Big Show then countered and then hit him with the knockout punch to end SmackDown.
ooh, it
You can
was
hear the smack like that.
yeah. I
Uh,
don't think. Oh man, gotta give it to Rusev if he can sell.
yeah, and it's either he sold or it really happened to him, because you know I remember the punch that Big Show did to
Brock.
Ricardo. No, to Ricardo. Remember, before their last man standing match on SmackDown, where they were doing the draw. Teddy Long was doing the draw, and then it turned out to be Ricardo against Big Show, and then Big Show was like, hold my title for a bit, just feel like what it's like to be a champion, because this is the
Yeah,
closest. Yeah, and then he just smacked him right in the face.
I
Just
remember the one he hit Lesnar with at Royal Rumble after the match was over connected.
yeah.
That one connected.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
And,
think
and
Brock was supposed to step out, but he didn't.
mhm. What was it when Brock was going for the chair and then he
Yes.
got, yeah, and he just rocked him in the face, man, really. Um yeah, Big Show is still, I will always say this. He is the most underrated wrestler of all time, you know?
Well, he's getting credit now. He's actually been like, look at Big Show.
Mhm. Yeah. So, yeah, the I'm looking forward to Show versus Rusev, but I hope that it's not at the pay-per-view because I want the U.S. title to be taken away from Sheamus right away. Because who's Sheamus gonna feud with for the title besides Rusev? You know, so there's not really anybody else to feud against. Cesaro needs to go for Dolph Ziggler because the Miz Ziggler thing is kind of played out. You know, so I don't want to see a repeat at Hell in a Cell. I want like fresher matches. You know.
Right.
So yeah, that was SmackDown, a really good show.
I gotta call Michael Cole out on this.
Okay.
Here comes the rant, people.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we did not. We skipped over.
Yeah, everything else was great, but now I give you the floor. Rant on the Divas match. Summer Rae,
Okay.
Layla versus Natalia and Rosa Mendez.
Okay. Natalia and Rosa Mendez versus Summer Rae and Layla. This is basically just a repeat of what happened on Raw
Mm-hmm.
with Les To's Divas promotion. It was unnecessary. What I liked it, I got to see. Okay, I'm coming to it. I'm just building up.
Okay.
I wanted to see a good match between Layla and Natalia because these two have chemistry and they know how to put on a good match. Okay, later on in the match, Natalia is basically, I don't know what spot to call this. She's the Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
I don't no disrespect to Heartbreak Kid, but I remember him being like the punching bag for like the hot tag for Triple H.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was just there to be like the punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
She's crawling to the corner. She's crawling towards the corner. She makes the tag to Rosa Mendez. Then a few seconds later, all hell breaks loose. Michael Cole has the devil in his ear. Michael Cole becomes possessed. He starts floating in his chair. His eyes rolls in the back of his head. His voice becomes demonic, and he says, "Here comes Rosa Mendez, Latina Heat."
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm about to turn on my camera. I need people to see my face.
Yeah, go for it.
He said Latina Heat.
Mm-hmm.
That was never, and I mean ever, one of Rosa's nicknames. I don't remember. I don't recall anybody giving her that nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Everybody knows I'm a big Eddie Mark. He was like my favorite growing up. He's like was one of the reasons why I got into wrestling. And to hear his name being associated with such, I'm just going to be honest, just a lousy wrestler. His greatness being associated with that was just complete. I felt like a slap in my face. You know, for that slap in my face, I wanted to roundhouse kick Michael Cole in the mouth. And it hurts even more that him and Eddie were kind of like buds. They weren't like the closest friends, but they were buddies. So it even added more to the sting.
Right.
Now, I'm surprised JBL did not even call him out on that. Like, Vince, why would you have... I thought they had more respect for Eddie.
Yeah, and JBL was well, actually Eddie was in JBL's wedding. I think he was his best man. So it's kind of weird that JBL didn't really call Cole on this, even if it's not scripted, because like we said, I don't think Vince is in Michael Cole's ear as much
Michael
on
Cole said that
SmackDown.
on his own free will. I lost some respect for him. I hope I can forgive him if I can't forgive him even if Vince was in his ear, but he can lose less respect from me.
You could have called them something else. You could call it a House of Fire, or
God, that name is reserved for. You know his daughter's name, her ring name, Razia Ardiaz.
Okay.
That is reserved for her and her alone. She is the daughter of Eddie. Oh my God.
And even, I would even say to, it's reserved for a Guerrero family, you
Yes, or
can,
at least a credible wrestler. I was
mhm,
thinking more lines of like I could get flack for this because the Queen of the Indies, Mercedes Martinez, who
mhm,
is actually a good wrestler,
mhm,
but for Rosa,
mhm.
Rosa,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Continue,
Okay,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Michael Cole,
All right.
may Eddie forgive you for your ignorance.
Mhm,
You betrayed your longtime buddy.
mhm.
You threw dirt on his grave
Right.
and his legacy.
Yeah.
There is only one Latina Heat, and that damn
Mhm.
sure ain't Rosa Mendez.
Yeah. And I like Cole, but the thing is, he's such a yes man
I like
that
Cole too.
yeah, but the thing is he's too flexible, I think
He's
he's been
not
in.
really like he's not a all the way. He is a yes man, but not all the way. Remember, he argued with Vince about plugging the app so many times.
Yeah, but he went through with it, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I
because
still give
because
credit for standing up for himself. But
yeah, because right now being built as like the voice of WWE, right? He's in JR's spot basically. So he's like, if they're not gonna fire Michael Cole for speaking his mind,
and you know
if
what? You know what I hate about this with Michael Cole is Vince. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Vince needs not to be in Michael Cole's ear. He is a veteran voice commentator. He does
yeah.
not need Vince McMahon in his ear telling him what to say because he already knows this. He has
Hmm.
done this job for years.
Yeah, unless the Latina Heat thing was unscripted.
I would
So
lose my mind.
if that's the case, then always have Vince in his ear.
God.
So yeah,
I just pray to the wrestling gods, including JBL, that
hmm
he never says that ever, and I mean ever again.
hmm So I really hope that maybe what I would love if this was actually a storyline. If they're gonna do this for a storyline, then I'm okay with this. Have Rosa Mendez be like Latina Heat for a while and be like, doing even the moves, and then you can bring back Raquel Diaz and trying to take back her, family alias, you
Now,
know?
I would like that. I would forgive them if it's a part of that. Because that
Yeah.
is, God, everybody knows how, man, Eddie's my favorite wrestler.
Mhm.
And,
Definitely, yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites, in my top 10.
oh, God.
Yeah. So yeah, so that was SmackDown, and I guess that's pretty much it. I think we covered everything, right?
Yes, we did. And we did great. You want to plug something before we get here? Because we usually do this on Ed's podcast, but
Yeah.
Ed was running, had some, he was busy today, so
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry about
took,
that. I really lost track of time.
it's okay, man. I took over for you to the best of my abilities.
And you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think you know what, and if this is like a first of string of videos that you're gonna be doing on your channel, then do it, man. All power to you. You know,
I may do this, but I don't think, uh, I have to get organized like you.
yeah, it's all right, man. I mean, like our first video went on for 4 hours, and this was like 3.5, so I think it's a step up.
Yes, but that was awesome.
Yeah, and this was awesome as well. I'm really happy for you, and I'm really honored to be and one of your first guests.
Yes, like now I return the favor to you for having me as your first guest.
Yeah. So,
So I'm
yeah,
gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna let you plug in your show that I'm regularly featured on. I have not missed an episode.
absolutely. We've got the weekly wrestling analysts, and we've got where we review like basically what we just did, the entire week of wrestling, and We've got also, pay-per-view reviews and predictions that we do also weekly. And that's just basically what I've been doing. But other people are in there as well, where they would review movies and stuff like that. And that is the Variety Vendor channel, where you can basically see everything and anything and everything, and we talk about it all. And also, guys, join the Elite Click on Facebook, uh,
Yep.
where basically it's the same as the Variety Vendor but in text form. And
We have the same amount of passion that we bring to this podcast in this group.
absolutely, and even way more members there, and it's very respectful and way
Very
more
hilarious.
yeah, and very hilarious, and it's a better group than most. So join that group. It's definitely an elite clique.
Yes, thank you guys. I want to thank everybody for joining me this evening. I want to thank Mac, Aaron, Grant, Jeremy, and you, Ed. I
Thank you,
want to
man.
thank you for sticking this with me. You actually helped me get back on course with this because I had no notes. I was just
Mhm.
freestyling off my head,
Mhm.
off of selective memory that I had off of the last events. But
Mhm.
you came prepared, and I want to thank you for joining me and being part of this
Absolutely.
first We Are Elite episode.
Mhm. Absolutely, it's my pleasure, man.
All right, everybody, we're signing off. Good night, and thanks for your time.